Okay, and we're live. Thank you very much for being patient. I'm so sorry we came on a little bit late today. Today is Sunday, the 26th of August. We've been at Speaker's Corner today, and tonight we are doing a hangout with multiple activists from all across the international flat plane of existence. I'm in the house with possibly nearly a dozen, and we've got a few more lined up to come on the hangout with us as well. I'm getting texts as we speak, telling people telling me 5 minutes, 10 minutes won't be long. So we're going to have people come in as we're talking. I've got them quite quietly behind me, so I'm hoping that some of you can let me know in the chat room if you can hear or if it's too loud. I'd greatly appreciate your input on that one, guys. So first and foremost, I'm going to bring over into the hot seat an activist that's done some big bits. He's done a lot of public speaking at Speaker's Corner. He's been out into London with John Smith Globelight into various locations in the centre of London. Been included in one of those myself at a couple of bridges. Him, his wife, and their young son are fully awake. They've got a lot of opinions about talking about the truth and conveying it to people and connecting with people in possibly some ways that you might not feel would be obvious to you. So I felt it would be quite conducive to talk to them. So I'm going to bring him over. Dave, if you'd like to come over, my darling, and you can come over at any point as well, Andrew, and come and sit down here as well, sweetie. Okay, so guys, this is the amazing Dave Mannell. Hi, Dave. Thanks so much for joining us here this evening. You're here with your family, and like I said, dozens of other people as well. So, well, maybe not dozens, but a dozen. Yeah, we've been at Speaker's Corner today. It's been pouring with rain, but I've got Dave here to talk to you about activism, ways to move that forward. I've got some questions that I want to ask you, if that's all right. I've got them lined up here, guys. Just bear with me. And could you do me a favor and check the chat room and check that we're coming through okay? I can't see the chat room just now, and I want to make sure that everyone can hear us. You yourself, you've been awake for a while now, haven't you?
Yeah.
A couple of years?
3.
3 years. So
well, when you say awake, that's a matter of opinion, I suppose, but about 3 years, 3 and a bit years since Flatout.
Yeah. And where do you feel activism is now in comparison to a couple of years ago?
A couple of years ago, activism was almost non-existent, actually. There was no activism as such. All there was, that's my son, but all there was the kind of big name chat rooms and some great, research guys doing, stuff on their, various experiments and so on. So that was really what it was. And like the big sort of Eric Dubés and the Mark Sargents, the Patricia Steers and so on. They were the ones sort of dominating all the traffic, all the airwaves, all the kind of noise, and they had like a hold on, a whole like grasp on what was going on, and then you started to see it expand beyond those big names into some of the regular Joes seemingly coming up from learning about it, making their way up and starting to say stuff about it. And for me, I started to see channels like, Harry's over at Globelight, starting to do stuff in the public, and Subtle Infinity, not Subtle, Josh at I forget his channel right now. Authentic Intent. These are the people that are starting to make a difference and do things differently. So I saw the energy that was bringing in. That was where I felt like I wanted to be part of it. That's my wife's ass you just saw. Honey, you just bent down for the internet.
Sorry, Matt.
That's just
my darling.
Perfect.
Sorry, we're live, as you can see. So we've got the
situations.
We're keeping it moving. Thank you so much for joining us, Aaron. I see you popped up there, my darling. If you just give me a second, sweetheart, I'm going to come to you in a second. I just want to finish asking this question to Dave. So regarding that aspect, I take it you've been having human interactions with people for a while, regardless of being out into the streets with banners and whatnot. Where do you think street activism is now compared to where you've seen it possibly a year ago or something?
Well, it was almost non-existent a year ago, and now it's become, well, I mean, obviously in my little world, it's become quite huge, but I see it gaining attraction. I see it actually, generating a lot more interest and so on in it. If I can, I'll talk more about my own feelings on that in a second. Yeah. But yeah, I see it growing, and I see it much bigger now than there's ever been. Sure.
What do you feel needs to be done to move things forward in the whole, on the whole, umbrella under everything, not just with street activism, with being socially accepted? And I'm not just talking about Flat Earth, I'm talking about everything that encapsulates with that, everything that we're socially talking with people about.
Well, let's just say that we're charting perhaps uncharted waters. This is the the hidden part of the flat Earth, or the Earth. The story is that where is this leading? Where are we going from here? And I keep saying to people that we need to be present. We need to be learning who we are. We need to know ourselves, and we need to be present in this time, because the shit is coming our way, and we need to be a part of it, or it's going to wash us away. So I think that we need to be putting our energy into, doing those things that feel good, that feel right. And it's, for me, I'm compelled to get out there and let people know that there's much more to this than, a few balls and a phallus. I mean, what do they call it? Osiris's shaft that they use for at the Vatican for their big
obelisk.
Middle of the Vatican.
The big phallic symbol.
Yeah, big old cock. Can you say cock on the internet?
I think we can. It's our channel, so we're not on anyone else's channel.
Chicken,
we're good.
It's like the chicken, the male
It's
version
another word
of
for
chicken. Is a cock.
Yeah.
That we're allowed to say,
Cock
like
and
in
balls.
a farming kind of way.
In the agriculture sense.
Yeah. And we come from a culture that worships the ball as well. So, and it's not far from the cock. They're almost related.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. I want to let you talk a little bit about where you guys are at with this and what energy you feel you can give this conversation that we're having. I don't want to keep you too narrow.
I'll try and keep it quick, because but I mean, we've all come a long way, and we have all come from the ball place, so we've learned a lot, and we have much still to learn. We know we're part of something awesome. It's a much more grand, divine play that we're part of. So we don't want to get caught up in any of these dialectics. We don't want to be squabbling, in the flat Earth community. We don't want to be squabbling over the shape and space and the type of the Earth that we live on and all that sort of stuff. We know that we know that the control system that's in place is prepared for whatever we might bring to it. So my feeling is that if we can really come together and really come together in a way that is more divine than destructive, then I think we will be far better placed to raise collectively this energy, this impetus that we've got going on, this this newfound inner strength that, as divine creations here on this flat plane, that we have actually the ball in our court, not in our mouth, as they'd rather us have it. So I am really optimistic about putting out good energy, positive kind of message about what it is, that it's, yeah, you've been lied to, but get beyond that shit and you can find something far more awesome for yourself. And then if you can raise that in yourself and in your neighborhood, then hey, we're going to start shining that light around the world. That world. So, so for me, it's just keep doing what I'm doing and try and stay centered, because there is a lot of craziness that comes along with it. But, do the grounding work and stay centered and stuff like that. And hopefully we can all learn and go in the right way towards whatever destiny we've been set out for. But it does seem it's not the old boring retirement plan that I was sold at school. And, there's a lot more to come. But you got to be in it, and you got to be willing to meet your brothers and sisters equally, because when you spend time out in the street, you'll find that it's black people and Muslim people and Chinese people and ladies and fat people and you name it. Everybody is, everybody's carrying their own color, thing. Everybody, yeah. And we need to reach each other. We need not to feel that this is somehow a clique or a club or whatever. We might be those few people that have been brought to this place to play a certain part. And we must play that part, and we should not. I mean, if you want to play the part of someone who's getting in the way or obstructing whatever's going on, then that's a shame. But I think we're meant to be aiding each other moving forward, not being Agent Smith, but being, those loving fellow brothers and sisters that we're meant to be. And if we can achieve that in ourselves, then heavens above knows what we can achieve as a collective. So I think I'll keep my thoughts for there.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, darling. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Cool. Well, I'll leave it at that, and we'll speak again. Yeah.
Yeah, babes. Thank you. Thank you very much to Dave Mannell. His channel description is in the description
Trinity
box.
4 men. Oh, Trinity 4.
Yeah, that's in the description box.
Trinity 4.
Dave, that's Aaron. He was at the Speaker's Corner.
Yeah, I know.
Aaron.
Hi, man.
Darling.
Hello, mate.
I know, that's a tough act to follow.
Don't worry, we're not following. What we're doing is Dave's got to get to the other side of London as well. And I thought I didn't want him to have to sit there and wait for us all to talk. He's got to get in the car with his little man.
And you guys will be about 15 years older by the time I finish speaking anyway. So it's best that I get the heck out of here.
I could listen to you all day, mate.
Very kind of you. That's very generous of you.
Yeah, big
Thank
time.
you. Well, it's awesome, and I'm really excited. Just if I can add, then I'm really excited to be, where we are, because this is a really unique thing. And if you're out there watching this and want to be a part of it, then I'd say to you that a year ago I was saying to my wife, I need to be in the conversation. I need to be a part of what's going on. The first Oxford meet 3 years ago, I nearly went along to that. Actually, I was like, oh, I must go, and I never went. But I wasn't kind of ready, and not everybody's ready. And then we had a baby and stuff like that, so I spent quite a lot of time on that while I was working on myself and so on. So when the time is right, you need to join the conversation. Everybody's welcome. There's no hierarchy. It's just a matter of, So if I may say that, I think that the system has tried to mess us all up along the way. That's the system's place. It's trying to fuck you up. So I know that, and now that I've met plenty of flat earth folks now, I realize that many of us come with our own set of baggage and so on that needs sometimes still to be dealt with. And I think that it's important that if I can offer anything to the conversation, that we spend time working on those things that we need to work on for ourselves. It's fantastic that it's a flat earth. Don't spend a year like I did, chasing the research and so on, because if that's your thing, fine, but you don't need to. After a period of time, you're like, okay, you don't need to prove it to yourself anymore that the earth is flat. It's flat. Now go and work on yourself, because a lot of damage has been done by the indoctrination, and a lot of baggage is left over from it. It's a lot about it's about knowing yourself, and then the whole purpose. When people ask me why would they lie, why would they make the ball, aside from the land, aside from the control, but because you are so important. And they've put all of that effort into holding you in a ball, so much effort into holding you a ball, years, hundreds of years, all the Vatican, everything, the Jewish thing that they were going, whatever that is, it's all been like a control grid that's held over your mind. So that's a super powerful thing. So just discovering that you have a ball, now you have this mind that needs to be taken care of and allowed to flourish in a new paradigm. Allow yourself time for that. And so don't spend your time all just fighting the ball, but come and join the street thing, because we are getting a lot of positive feedback. People are starting to love us out in the street. There's going to be haters for sure, but there's a lot of people loving us out in the street, and people coming back and giving us a little bit of props and what have you, and that's only going to grow. And you know, it's nice to be a part of that, and we welcome everybody to come and join.
Say hi to Richard Lopez, he's just joined us as well.
Hey, Richard.
And we've just had Authentic Intent join as well. So
No
Josh
way.
is here as
Josh,
well.
hey, Josh.
Josh is in the house.
Hi, Rich.
Richard, thank you very much for joining us. Aaron, thank you very much for joining us. And Josh, thank you very much for joining us as well, darlings.
Thanks for
And
having us.
Can you all hear me all right? I'm driving.
Who's talking? Was that you, Josh?
Yeah, I'm driving right now. Can you all hear me okay?
We can hear you perfectly, Josh. Thank you so much for joining us. Richard, can you say something so we can see we can hear you as well, darling?
Yes. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Richard.
Perfect. Hello, my darling. Mwah. Big kisses to you. Big kisses to you, Aaron, and big kisses to you, Josh. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'd like to say, with the activism, you don't need an invite. Just show up. That's turn up. That's the point of it.
Yeah.
But feel empowered. Feel empowered to come along. You know, like, and you know, I came down last week and said, "Yo, because I've seen you guys online, I just wanted to come down and what have you." It's like, come on down, brother. Just come and join the.
Just got to reach out, and it all starts there.
Yeah, I just want to say that I take my hats out to all you guys. You guys are a big inspiration to us out here across the pond, and really inspired me. I was just watching Roxanne's video today. You guys out there in the rain, hardcore. People actually coming up, engaging. Wow, it's no excuse, and that's what I'm all about over here. I wake up everybody. When I first found out about this, who am I going to? You know, and I guess it worked good with me because I don't care what anyone thinks about me. I sleep very well, good at night. I think for myself, and I think that this was just meant for me to be. You know, it makes it easy. So you guys are a big motivation out there. Everybody that's out there. Doing your thing, I really appreciate it. I definitely really appreciate it, and we want to try to get that kind of vibration that you guys have out there, kind of kicking it off out here, and really kind of teach people actually how to do that. Big ups to Harry. I'm learning a lot from him. Learning all you guys.
We can all learn a lot from each other. I think it's also about a process of growing as individuals. I think we go into this with one mindset of how we're going to talk to people about this. But with every conversation you have, you grow as a person. You realize, you know, you sometimes have to come off your pedestal. It's like people that quit smoking and then go around telling everyone else to quit smoking. You know, you can talk with people and have a conversation. You can talk at people. And I think is that there's a growing process for us to go through as people. Like you said, we wake up, but we've still got baggage from our sleep years, you know, that we carry on into our...
We're so far behind, right? We're so far behind in where we're supposed to be at because of the levels of deception.
That's right, Richard. But we're also like the students and now the teachers. You know, we actually, you know, talking ourselves into the role of becoming the teachers. And to become the teachers, we never got sent to school to become teachers. We're having to school ourselves through the hard knocks, as we all say, with university hard knocks. Well, I'm personally learning an awful lot about how I become a better teacher by doing this, and I think we would all get the same experience. I'm sure Josh has learned plenty himself.
Very motivated, exactly. You know, I teach someone, teach someone how to do this. I'm actually find myself in a position where I've woken up people that woken up people, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, and you know, and then I got people that was denying me at first, hated me, called me stupid, called me crazy, now asking me questions about what's going on, because they have to be intellectually honest with themselves about all the information that they get. And you know, so now it's like, okay, well, who now, you know, who, I stopped telling people to research, because what I found out is the opposition is so strong. People don't know how to research nothing. There's a lot of people that don't, you know, and then if they do, you got thousands of flat earth debunking, and it's like they don't know what to do. And I think it's different from me. How I came into this was I tried to debunk flat earth, man. Literally, I thought it was like I'm big aliens. I'm going to Mars. I knew NASA lied about some shit. I didn't think they lied about everything. I'm like, I'm hardcore ancient aliens. And we gotta be. We're just spawned. I'm like hardcore. So this was and I was in how I found out about it. I was in these alien groups on Facebook, and I heard this, and I heard the admin of the group go, "I just kicked somebody out of the group for posting flat Earth."
Wow.
And that, it pissed me off. I was like, what's wrong with people? People think the Earth is flat. What the hell's going on? And this is the time where I'm just becoming a vegan. I've been a vegan for a while. So now I started to see better, hear better, think better, have more energy. Just all around. Everything got me in a moment to receive this information. And that's what I truly, honestly believe what's going on here. So, and I see people who actually, just like you were talking about, teaching, you know, and that's what this is about. You know, but that's how I got into this, man. So I locked myself in the house, and I spent hundreds of hours, man, trying to prove the globe. I had to start from about what is this place that we call so-called home. I have no idea about. What the hell is heliocentrism? You know, and it was just a journey. I locked myself in the house. I didn't go anywhere. And then when I started to see, I'm like, no way, man. You gotta be fucking kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. I went to the beach. I saw about that boat thing, about boats going down the ball. And I'm like, wow. I brought the slip back in, binoculars, everything. And it was like, wow. You know, and I watched the Eric Dubé 200 Proofs. You don't live on a spinning ball. And I literally was like this, watching everything he said and trying to debunk every last proof. I'm sitting there and boom. And I see Dave Murphy and who the hell is this guy? The biggest lie I ever told. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Because Dave, he just has a good online presence, a good online, you know, very structured, you know,
with a lot of people.
Order, right? Exactly. So I was like, okay, I'm like, oh wow, man, this is crazy. So, and then I saw that, and then that's when I was like, okay, picture myself. Am I actually the Matrix? How can people get out there if they don't even know they're in one? I got people that haven't even heard the two words together, flat Earth, before. Never. Even the two words together, flat Earth. I mean, like, huh? Yeah. So that's why I come up with things to get people to, you know, get people to think. You know?
I think that's what it actually, because when we were first learning about it, we had those, you know, the Eric Dubé videos and all of that sort of stuff. And it's kind of like, you can take it or leave it. And for most people who go on YouTube, they'll never get close to an Eric Dubé video, to be honest with you. That's just on people that go on YouTube. But when you go out on the street, there's nowhere to hide. When they got one of those big hairy banners up there on the wall, you know, people cannot hide from that shit. They're facing up with "You have been told the greatest lie." And then people, you know, now I need to know more about it. Yeah, and this is where the people like you, Richard, who went and did all the homework on the heliocentric model, you come right into your own now, because you can teach these guys who come and go, there's no lie bigger than the one that I know.
Exactly.
You know, and you go, well, let me tell you.
We actually, we teach the flat Earth. You know, when I was doing my research, I found out back in the early 1900s and in the late 1800s, they were actually teaching flat Earth. You know, I got the proof. Like this, you know how like the old clippings. Remember how we used to get information from the libraries through the Dewey Decimal System and how we catalog. Well, we had the old clippings. Well, there's old clippings of papers, of newspapers. Try it. You got to do this. You're gonna be mind blown. You see the ice wall back in the 1800s and everything. Like this is not a new argument.
Yeah, it seems like it's something about. You know, that
I think the World War ripped the baton out of the hand of the flat Earth people. Actually, World War II, probably more than World War One, because people were really sure of really kind of getting like the balloon things were going up all in the 1930s and so on, and then rockets were going to kind of answer that question. So people really thought they had it in their grasp, and then World War II knocked it right out of their hand, and they never got any control of you know, everything. League of Nations, and then it was all over to the world powers, and people lost control of everything. So we never went back to those balloon tests and so on, and all of a sudden we're just waiting on NASA to tell us what the truth is. Well, we just handed it all over to the good guys.
All lies. And I think Roxanne
to talk about is the whole teaching aspect. I think there's two sides to the teaching aspect coin. And yeah, it's great to teach new people flat Earth or just provoke thought. But I think that one thing that's getting lost is the new flat earthers that want to do activism but don't have the confidence to do such. And what we're trying to develop here in Minnesota, and I'm sure other people it's crossed their mind, but maybe just do some with new flat earthers and try to get them comfortable with the basic like 5 things that typically come up during a conversation with somebody who's new to the topic, you know, like boats going over the horizon, seasons, sunset, and so on. Some of the other things like, you know, lunar eclipses and whatnot, I try to, personally, I just stay away from those things because those aren't anything that even anybody knows. If you Google selenolion, explain that. So explain that aspect of the moon and the sun and the horizon at the same time, then that gives me a little bit more leeway to address things that we can actually observe. So I think that talking to people who are new to flat Earth, because I've had interactions with new flat earthers that are like, yeah, I love what you do, yada yada, but you know, I couldn't ever do that. You know, I'd lose myself, or I wouldn't know what to say at this point. And of course, it's all practice. But, you know, to the other side of that, with like the teaching aspect of like out in public and whatnot, I think that I have over a period of time developed an understanding of both models and what I want to not really include, because a lot of the people that you talk to want all the answers fed to them. And I think it's important to kind of hold back that a little bit and allow them to do that, because then they're going to depend on you. And I think that you know, you don't really ever want anybody to depend on you, because we're all fallible. We're human beings, and sometimes we get things wrong. I re-watch a lot of my videos while I'm editing before I post them, and I notice like, oh, I said that wrong. You know, so it allows more grace for yourself if you allow yourself to hold back evidences and explanations and allow them to come back. And I'll give you an example quite often regarding, oh, I wish you would explain the horizon ships going over the horizon bit a little bit more clearly, then I'd enjoy your content more. And I understand the concept of boats going over the horizon. It has to do with the temperature of the air and the temperature of the surface water, emitting water vapor, and then the mirroring effect with the sun. Like, I get that. And as the day continues, the water temperature on the surface gets warmer. So it's going to have a higher height of refraction or mirroring effect. Like, I'm not going to sit there and explain that to new people, though.
Mhm.
Like, I can go along with, like, yeah, shit's go over the horizon. See themselves why that, and understand why that's happening themselves. Or else we're going to sit out there and we're literally teaching. And I want to try to stay away from that title for me personally, because yeah, I do enjoy the challenge of talking to people who aren't familiar with the topic and they come up with their 6th grade answers. But as these people continue to get pressed in their conscience about flat Earth, I think that'll press them to investigate, their own queries instead of depending on us.
Right. I see where you're going on that, but the whole thing, the reason why I'm saying the word teaching, because it is teaching, because we had to teach ourselves what's going on. Once we hold ourselves and we said, hey, you know what? That shit. When you come and find out into this, literally, when I found out about this, I literally got on my knees and started crying. Yeah. I literally got on my knees when I was like, yo, and started crying. So yeah, I tell people, when you wake up, you wake up. Because it affects everybody different. Yeah. It's very dramatic. It's definitely very dramatic. And then after watching Dave, I'm like, man, I guess there's a reason why I have to be vegan, so I can make it. Do I got to take a trip to the North Pole? Do I got to make this journey? Because it's in our nature to explore. So so we want to explore. We want to find out stuff. So and they kept that from us. Who we are, where we came from. I take this very personally. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm using it. I have the UN logo as my logo. I'm flipping everything around onto them. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Because enough is enough. I never saw myself being an activist. I was like, hey, normal guy. I don't mess with nobody. I live my own little world, and then that's it. But if we don't step up and do something and know about this, we've been given this gift because it's a gift. Yes. So when I literally got an Uber job just so I can wake people up. I've been doing that for 6 months and I enjoy it. Because first I was like, well, I'm going to get totally strangers in my vehicle. But it wasn't like that. I literally developed a way to actually talk to people. Hey, quick question. I just want to know, or do you consider yourself a critical thinker? And they're like, oh, yeah, well, let me think about it. And then I get them to answer like yes or no answers. You can agree that most of what we know is second and third hand information, right? And they're like, yeah. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you ever wonder, they say that the sun is 93 million miles away? Like, how could it be that far when it doesn't appear that far? You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's like we're spinning. I make a joke. It's like we're spinning. Like, I don't think we're spinning either because, and then I just kind of go break the ice with that and get them into it. And then I kind of get a good read on them because some people can accept more information at one time and other people can't because otherwise they're shut down. So I kind of play that. Okay, so I get them. So I can give people that satellites are fake, the whole 9 in 10 minutes. And it all depends on that person. So, and because now we're gonna have a big wave of people waking up. So we need to teach because we're gonna need help. Embracing these new people in. Like I wanted to feel that embrace and be around with other people that woken up like me.
So then think where we might be in 12 months time. I don't put myself in the frame in 12 months time. I don't know where I am in 12 days time, but in the flat earth grows for 12 months, then the pace of that will mean that the people that are talking to the general public will be talking to a much bigger audience. And so that this is that testing ground, this is that learning ground for us. And that the reason why I feel like what we should be doing is being out in public and talking is because that's who needs to hear this, not some old group of YouTube followers or whatever, but the actual general public. We get much better traction from human interaction and all that sort of thing. But my point simply is that in 12 months time, maybe 18 months time, who knows how many people we're talking to and who we're teaching, who, as you said, is teaching somebody else down the line. So it's right. But we've got to be in it. We've got to be playing our part.
You're right.
I want to step away.
You're right, my darling.
make space for you.
Oh, don't leave me on my own, guys. Don't leave me on my own. I'm
that with you, man.
to the hot seat.
I don't want to take up all the
No worries. No worries. You know what? I just want to say, Richard and Josh, I'm sorry we're not getting an equal time, but I'm hoping a lot of this is resonating because it's everything that's being said here is exactly what we wanted to get on here and talk about. We wanted to talk about how to icebreakers, inspiration for beginning of conversation, you know. Other people to do that, like Josh said. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Josh is right because he's looking at it from. I'm not disagreeing with him, but I'm looking at it a whole different area. I'm like, okay, how many people can I duplicate, right? Because this is what needs to go on. This is 25 generations of lies. Mm-hmm. So it's going to take a lot. And what I mean by teach people how water always finds its level. How can water bend into a ball? Or, things like this. Or, how can the moon be 240,000 miles away and we don't have a zoom camera that can zoom in that far? And clearly people are doing it. How can you live on a ball and it doesn't have curvature? Can you? Because
how many straight lines?
To think. I came up with this term. The Earth does not curve downwards. Because when I tell people that, it seems like they have like a little TIA, a little stroke. It kind of throws them off guard because no one's never heard that phrase before. Oh, wait a minute, the Earth doesn't curve downwards. And then I tell them, I'll wait for a minute so it can soak in like a sponge. And then I say, guess what? Not only that, it doesn't curve downwards, it doesn't curve upwards. Bang! Stuck on stupid, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And get them to think, get those gears running. Yeah, man. And sometimes I'll be sitting at the store and I'll just be breaking. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm just going to drop a big clue or drop a hint, get them to think. And I just developed, and I actually look forward to doing that. And it feels great. So, and that's why I'm saying, like, you guys, when Harry reached out to me and said, hey, man, would you like to come on this hangout? I was like, absolutely, because you guys are doing what's great. And we're trying to get this thing. We got the whole Pennsylvania thing rocking and rolling out here, and we're getting that. And shout out to them, too, and for the Pennsylvania crew, Dave and Marilyn. And absolutely, man. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you guys are doing awesome work out there. You're inspiring a lot of us. You just said the magical word just then, duplication.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can't be all in, everywhere at once, and we need to duplicate our own efforts onto other people. And if they can do you've got nail on the head. Duplication. I think you just mentioned before as well is the approach. And there's 101 different approaches. But these newcomers, they don't know any approaches. When I first got into this, I was desperate and hungry. I seen Harry doing his street interviews, but he never showed the start. And it was like, well, I want to know what did you throw a brick at him? Did you how and what was it? How did you actually get him?
You want more?
That's what I need. Yeah, that's right. So I kind of needed to know this, and there is people out there, and they might be passionate. They might be but activism is not second nature. This is something that this approach to people, and that they need people like Harry to show us and you guys and that, and just how did you actually talk to this person? And to be honest, there's 101 different approaches. But I remember I was in an organization years ago, and he said just. And do something, just do something, say anything, but just speak. I mean, there's 101 different approaches and all that, but speak. Just get on with it.
Right. But a lot of them, what I found out, because I have a big history in sales, so I can sell.
Me too.
Right. Exactly. I can sell anything, man. Because I understand the psychology of sales. If I can get you to like me, it's a done deal. If I get you to smile, if I smile, that makes you smile. Okay, so all about body language.
Yes.
About reading people. Sometimes I read a person so I can develop a way to come at them. So, and I'm very versatile. So, but you can actually teach that to somebody, how to be versatile. And by us doing what we're doing is inspiring other people, because we got inspired from somebody watching somebody else. But what I found out is no one has been doing what we've been doing. So we're kind of like this, kicking this off, getting the ball rolling, but we want to bring in many people who's with us. And it's all about vibration. If anybody has been following me and noticing me, I don't get into drama. Yeah, I see, I don't care. I don't care about the drama. I don't care about what you said about this person. I don't care. Don't even bring it to me. I'm here for one reason. I was going on Facebook and I was just like messing around and posting dumb stuff and whatever. Now it's all flat earth.
Yes.
All the people that left, they left. I gained more people. 10 times more people came. So it's kind of like, hey, let's share this information and vibe with the people that are giving off with the right vibes. So when you're going, my advice to people that are just waking up is to fill out which one that you're vibing with, because there's a lot of flat Earth is not the only deception out there, man. It's the mother of all lies, but there's a lot of deceptions out there.
Yeah.
Stop at the flat Earth. That's like like I do EMS, and then you get a 17-year-old girl who OD'd on heroin, and I'm like, and she's telling me, I'm like, what'd you take? After I gave her Narcan to come back, she's like, I didn't take anything. I'm like, yeah, okay. I didn't just start doing this. I've been doing this for years. How much did you take? How many bags did you do? Well, I'm like, well, why are you doing this stuff? You're 17 years old. Well, I was like, this is my first drug. I was like, what do you mean it's your first drug? You never smoked marijuana before? Like, we've been beating the divinity out of and lied to so long. And if people actually knew that we live in a building, there will be no atheists running around. Now, I'm very vocal about this. I don't do religions, man. I was 18 years old, and I don't do religions. I don't really like talking about religion. The heliocentrism, that was a religion, okay? When you find out this deception of this flat Earth, everything goes back to square one.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't trust anybody. That's why I say flat Earths are the biggest skeptics in the world. The true awakened ones. It's like, yo, you know what I mean? So, and I think that by doing this, you're actually giving other people inspiration to do this. Like, I have this book here. I'm sure people seen it. I put together this book, sort of like, different things, and I have it in my hand, and I kind of tell a story.
Did you produce this one yourself, or was this downloaded from?
No, this is what I put together myself.
Okay.
Awesome.
I made it. I tell people, I make people connecting the dots. Sometimes I found what works for me is connecting the dots, getting people to see another. That's why I tell people, hey, look, this AE model, it may not be accurate. Yeah. Of course, we know that they're hiding lands and may be actually some pear-shaped flat.
When you're doing it. When you're doing your activism and that, I mean, like, this is your memory jogger, isn't it? This is what keeps the talk flowing, this flip chart thing.
Exactly. So I tell people, look, let me tell you something. We don't know nothing. All we know this is they mapped this place out a long time ago. And when I did my research back in the 1800s, you can see in the old clipping, all you got to do is type in flat Earth, go back into the 1800s, the late 1800s, early 1900s. You're going to see all the flat Earth stuff, all the flat stuff. Absolutely. Like the Zionists were the last ones to teach the flat Earth.
Well, there's another part to all this, and I'm glad you got that. And I'd like to push you on something. There's a lot of people in this flat Earth community now that are just starting to come out and do activism, but they don't have the technical skills on maybe photoshopping and printing things out and things. So I put a few leaflets together, and I've allowed everyone to just take what you want and go. Would you be willing, that flip chart? Can you upload it to somewhere and let people? Like take what they need?
Oh, you know what? That's actually a great idea. Well, I was actually thinking about that a while ago. You actually brought that memory up. I'll do a little story, make a little story, and actually do a video. and I'll tag you, give it to Roxanne or whatever.
Yeah.
Or just give it to you or send you a message on, on Facebook or whatever, or however you want to do it. But yeah, I'll tell like a little story so people could kind of get that idea. And what's good about this is other people may hear that and make that idea even better and better. Like I was telling other people today, I was telling my friend Sarah, we run Flat Earth News and Reports on Facebook together. She runs the group, the UK Rebels. And I was like, look, everybody has their way in waking up and doing their own activism. Some people can't do what I could do. Some people, I've always been doing DJing stuff and music, so I know about editing and waveforms. So I never was thinking about like videos. So I'm like, all right, let me just teach myself how to do this, and blah 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 blah, and so then now I have people can say, hey, look, check this out, check out this. So I kind of got a vivid imagination, so I kind of get that together. But yeah, do your own thing. Like, and I use Facebook as a tool to act straight hardcore activism on Facebook.
Yes.
Hardcore. So find something that works for you. You may not could do what we can do, go out in the street corners or go out and talk to people, but find something else. Like go on tell your friends that, don't be scared of being called stupid from people who are stupid. Because if you think you live on a spinning ball of water, hurling through space at ridiculous speeds around the sun that's supposed to be 93 million miles away, you're out your back.
Richard, can I introduce you to a few people, if that's all right, my darling?
I'm sorry.
I actually got to take off, guys, for a bit. If you guys are still on, I'll pop back on, but I got to step away.
No worries, Josh. We'll be here for a little while, darling. It'd be awesome if you could come back. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to juggle it to give everyone a fair shout. But babes, if you've got any time,
you're good.
Do come back, Josh.
Thanks very much,
right,
Josh.
later, sis.
Cheers, Josh.
Awesome.
Yeah. Josh.
Yeah.
Awesome. Richard, I'm going to introduce you to a few people. We've got Dave Marsh. We've got Ruben, everybody equals mind controlled. We've got Aaron, Flat Earth Legend. We've got Zanny, who is the Flat Earth Truth. And Zanny's from North England. So you've got a Flat Earth female warrior on the panel with you tonight. She's serious, you lot.
Awesome.
Not really, yeah, awesomeness personified, yeah. So I'm really looking forward to you guys intermingling with each other and saying hi. Dave, if you come off mic, Ruben, if you come off mic, Aaron and Zanny, if you come off mic, if you guys could meet and greet with Richard, that would be awesome. Dave, if you want to go first and say hi to everyone. Dave Marsh.
Hello all, how are you doing? I've only just left Aaron a few hours ago, so you don't really need an introduction, really. But
this weekend.
yeah, so how are you doing, pal? You all right?
Yeah, good.
Good. And how are you, Richard? Are you all right?
Awesome, Dave. What's going on, boss?
Cool. Yeah, Ruben, you okay, pal?
I'm good, Dave. Yourself? Good to see
yeah,
you
not too
again.
bad. Yeah, a little bit tired. I've been travelling today, and it's been a long day. Got wet through as well. It's been chucking it down here. I don't know what the weather's like down there, but it's been horrible here.
So
beautiful.
Is it?
I'm in Spain, innit? I'm in Madrid.
Oh, right. Brilliant. He's still on holiday.
Wait, where are we? Alicante, sorry.
We don't want to hear that nonsense.
Are you okay then, Zanny, as well?
It was Zanny. I can't hear her.
I think she's muted. She's before.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Zanny, right?
Good evening, everyone. Nice to see you all.
Hi, Zanny.
Hi,
Oh,
guys.
About.
That I've not met before.
Oh, hello.
Ruben, I love your tan.
You're lagging a little bit. I'm not sure if your internet connection's not that strong.
I think it's me.
I'm
going to turn everything else off.
Zanny, do me a favour. If you can hear me, Zanny, just turn your camera off for a second and talk again, because that might be it. That sometimes can be a lag issue for some people, but just let us see if that works. But it'd be great to have you back on camera. So you guys that are off mute at the moment, where do you think activism is now in comparison to a couple of years ago, and what do you think needs to happen to push things forward?
Well, I think a couple of years ago it was like World War III online. It'd be like a battle every day every time you posted something. So it's got a lot easier. I don't even get anyone challenging me these days on Facebook, and so it's definitely easier. People are coming down to our way of thinking.
I'd agree with that.
It's just there's a few flat earthers turn up, but most people haven't heard about it still.
It surprises you, doesn't it?
It's really surprising after so long of being involved in it. You start thinking, you know, that everyone's heard about it, but no, 90% haven't heard about it at all.
Yeah.
So it's good to see the reactions that you do get to people who haven't heard it at all. So
I had been at Speaker Corner today. I had three guys come up to me and say, "Is this real? Are you trolling? Is this? Are you serious about this?" I just can't believe that anyone would think. So I get a lot of that. I get some people saying that they've never heard of such a thing because it's too ridiculous, and then I get the others that think that we're actually telling a joke. You know, like and. Yeah. So a fun day today.
Right.
Well, just what I'd like to say is, me personally, say 5 years ago, when I was living in a house between two people either side, for the first 5 years, I never even knew the neighbours' names because I didn't mingle with people. You know what I mean? I was like a bit of a loner. You know what I mean? So for me to actually go out onto the streets and do street activism was a big challenge. You know what I mean? I really had to come out of my comfort zone. Am I comfortable sleeping at strangers' houses? No, I'm not. But you know what I mean? I'm willing to take that step forward and actually, you know what I mean, do the activism and meet complete strangers and spend time with complete strangers. Because I think it's the way forward. And when I first started doing it, the percentage of people wasn't very receptive to it. But now, from the last time I went to Southport, the amount of people who was receptive to it was a lot more than when I first started doing it. Even though I haven't been doing it for a very long time, I did notice a big difference. Say again? What's the date in that? When did you first get involved? I think it was June. The first when I went to Liverpool, when you was there with Victoria and Harry and a few others. You were involved in Flat Earth before then. When was the first time you got involved? What were activism or Flat Earth? Flat Earth. About 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years in November. So you did basically 2 years of not doing activism. Well, yeah, no. Like I said, the first time was when I went to Liverpool. That was my very first time. Right. You know what I mean? So, like I say, it was a big step for me because, like I said, normally I'm a person who keeps myself to myself. I do my own thing, and so I really had to challenge myself and go out of my comfort zone to get there and actually speak to people on the streets. So it was a big challenge for me. Yeah, you've just said that the word that we've all been hearing. It's comfort zone, isn't it? You know, like I had the same problem. To get there out on the street, I actually watched. I watched everybody else doing their activism for the first time, and I just stood there watching how they're going about what they're actually saying, and I couldn't bring myself to talk to not one person throughout the whole day, and I didn't. Sorry, I did. I had an argument with the attendants, you know, who were trying to tell us to move on. But no, I couldn't talk to the public. And you're quite right. It's once you have to challenge yourself to get out of your comfort zone, and once you're out of your comfort zone, you're off. You just got to challenge yourself. Now, what I did was I challenged myself to do activism on my own first. I wanted to go by myself. I didn't want any help. Didn't want anyone to hold my hand. I had to do it by myself. And then I figured that if I can do it by myself, I can do it with anybody. You know, but if I must do it by myself, and that was my challenge. And I think you'll see that's probably my first video that I posted for myself. You know, challenge yourself. Yes, and if you want the ultimate challenge, go to Speaker's Corner on a Sunday and stand there for 5 hours, and you will challenge yourself. Ultimate challenge. I went home last time like I'd done 12 rounds with Mike Tyson. That's how I felt last time.
It's like going to a top university. They're pretty educated there, you know. So yeah, you got to be on. You got to know your stuff.
It's hard. It's hard. I mean, there's no polite way to tell people that everything you've been taught is bullshit and you live in a fake world. You know, so it's no polite, easy way to do that. Especially in the higher, the more degrees you have, the more educated you are, you're actually the more brainwashed.
Yeah.
Than everybody else. I got friends that are military, and they come out the military. My little brother did 3 tours in Iraq, and I'm telling him about the flat Earth, and he's been all over the world, and he's looking at me like I lost my mind. I'm smoking crack or some shit like that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's not the case. And so when I started breaking down to him, he's been listening. He was like, we all been brainwashed, man. It don't matter what you do. There's only certain people that know this information. And now it's out. They can't put the genie back in the bottle.
That's it.
Don't feel it. Because I'm not going to lie. When I first found out about this, I'm like, holy shit, is the cops going to be knocking at my door? You know, are they hearing me? And then I got to a point where I'm doing God's work or I'm doing the Most High's work. You know what I mean? I'm like, so I don't fear nothing. So come at me. All I'm saying is flat and motionless, just like it appears to be. And I'm the enemy of the state now. Don't have that feeling. Go out there but learn this information. Like you said, you got to learn this information.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Ruben, if you can hear me, darling, you can come off mute, babes. If anything, it's us that's got more background noise than any of you guys. So you guys stay on mute, stay off mute, and I will keep the background noise down. But Ruben, I saw you were saying some bits and pieces there. You couldn't hear what you were saying, babe.
I was just agreeing with what's being said, and I think all of us here are passionate about what we do. I was inspired by many people. Funny enough, Dell being one of them. Flat Earth Addict, James Pierce Baker, Harry. And I just remember just watching it, and I was like, "This is amazing! This is so exciting! I want to do this." And I really didn't know how, and I learned from everyone else, just as Jason said, just from watching and observing. And I guess you do have to throw yourself in the deep end, get out there, and
right.
Yeah, pop your cherry, I guess.
Pop cherry.
You can't judge your
By the
own
way, I love your work.
off the videos, though.
Smacking it.
Thank you.
You can't judge your own standards to doing the activism off the videos because they're edited. I mean, in real life, you do make mistakes.
Yeah.
And don't be hard on yourself. I mean, the first time I did activism, it was...
You got to get it out there.
Yeah,
and I'm on punishment right now. Facebook has put me on timeout for like a week and a half now and won't give me a reason why they put me on timeout. It's because I'm getting the message. I'm striking a chord. Because the videos, I find out they're going all over the place. So, and I think that was a really good way to contribute and kind of flip what the technology they give us and try to control and flip it on them to wake folks up. And we've been planting seeds, and people, they really have to be honest with themselves, you know, to receive this information, you know. And the only thing I could say that we all could do is just continue to make sense, continue to be persistent. Every day I wake up like, okay, who I keep when I'm not thinking about what this place could be actually on the outside of this place, that's just a whole nother level. You know what I mean? I don't even want to go there, but I'm always thinking about, okay, you know, how can I help someone? Now, I mean, I was always a good person, a good heart, everything, but now I wake up to be the best person I can be. I've never met something so powerful like this that it brings everybody together.
Yeah.
I'm like, all my stereotypes, all my judgings, I've gotten friends from Iran, or I'm getting Turkey. Everybody bring it all together. It's obvious we've been lied to so bad. You just can't wrap your head around it. The television, it teaches us who to love, who to hate, what to buy, what the weather's like. You know, it's like, you know, we don't know shit about North Korea, only for what the TV tells us. You know, we don't know. You know what I mean? It's all a show. It's all theater, man. And when you truly wake up, you don't even entertain the idea of looking at politics because you know how the magic trick is done. You know, like if someone teach you a magic trick and you know how it's done, it's not magic. The spell's been broken. And that's what it's all about. Breaking spells are real. You know, because if I'm walking around knowing that I live on a flat, motionless plane, and you're walking around thinking that you live on a spinning ball, we live on parallel universes. You know, we live in parallel universes, dude. It ain't that. That's not the case, man. Prove me wrong. And you know, and that's why I kind of make these posts on Facebook so people can actually, you know, challenge it, say it, share it, you know, share this content, you know, learn the content, you know, so you could be able to show other people, you know, tag me or tag somebody that knows. Like if I have a question, I go to somebody, or you know, I ask somebody. I'm not afraid to say I don't know.
That's right.
When you're explaining this stuff to people, don't be afraid to say I don't know.
That's it. Stop, yeah. We need to tell people, stop bullshitting people.
It's okay to not know.
Yeah.
It's not
You don't know, you don't know. That's it. End of.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we probably will never know as well. You know what I mean? You know, there's some questions, some silly questions, what they ask them when they say, "Where's the edge? How far's the sun away?" These kind of questions are not answerable. You know what I mean? We won't be able to answer.
What's on the bottom side of the flat Earth?
Yeah.
What, don't you
I
know?
got £2 in my wallet. How do I know?
Look, guys, it's just toffee. That's all it is.
Well, here's another thing too: is I want you to keep in mind, you have to learn how to control the conversation.
Yes.
So, when you're doing
Very
it, we're not wasting our time here.
That's it. That's it.
Control the conversation. There's an art and technique. Certain people have it, certain people don't. Certain people want to have it, but it's not hard to learn. When they start talking about when you're well this and this equation, when you're talking about the ground, about curvature, they want to go to the sky. No, stay on the ground. I go back, where's the curve? And I say, and again, I mean, you can't live on a ball if there's no curvature to be measured. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So you know, you gotta keep the conversation the way you want it to go.
Yeah, and also I'd like to chip in there as well is don't be afraid to walk on and move on to the next person. You know, like I heard a saying years ago, some will go next. Don't worry if you feel as though that you're banging your head against a brick wall. Move on to the next person. There might be somebody else stood right next to them that's got that little bit more open-minded that will receive something. There is lots of people out there that are so thick-headed, you know, like they're so closed-minded. I don't care what you're going to say, you're not getting through. You know, like so.
Yeah, I think a good opening question is to start with something like the moon landings, because I was watching a few people in America, and they weren't very subtle. They didn't have a very subtle approach kind of thing. They was basically straight for the juggler phone. Do you think the Earth's flat? You know what I mean? It's not a very good approach. You know what I mean? Just try and open them up a little bit first. Say, you know what I mean? Yeah, you've seen the moon landings. What do you think about the moon landings? Do you think it was all real? And that's what I try and go on. Try and be a little bit more subtle in my approach, and then obviously build up to it instead of trying to go straight for the juggler, because then you'll just startle them and you'll scare them away, basically.
Yeah. I agree. I do agree with that.
Yeah, I think it comes into the process of us growing as individuals and becoming more self-aware of what's going on respects to us being awake. Because I think before I made any content, before I came out, the first thing I did when I tried to make
you did.
I think
we were just talking about that before.
We were. And I think when you're out individually and when you're out with a group of people, it is a little bit different. When you're out by yourself and it's just you, I subconsciously approached it very different.
Yeah.
However, as soon as I went out with a group of people, it was all steam ahead.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go.
You learn by others. I surprisingly enough, I actually learned how to calm myself down by watching Scott Plain Ranger, how calm he is with people. And you, Ruben, you're pretty calm with people. So I've kind of I learned how to just take a chill pill, just relax a little bit with people.
Well, sometimes.
Not you, Dave.
Yeah, I think the last time we was at last time I was at Speaker's Corner, we had the full troll fest there. We had the 7'2" guy and the other little guy who didn't want to be on camera, and they were just complete idiots.
Let's explain that to Richard. Richard, they're at Speaker's Corner. I don't. You've heard of? You've obviously seen.
Absolutely. Oh my God!
It's world renowned, but we have this. You know, you've heard of trolls on the internet, okay?
Yes.
But we have we have real life trolls at Speaker's Corner, and they go in week in, week out, and it doesn't matter what the subject is. They want an argument with you
straight away.
You know, and they're not interested what the subject is. They just want an argument.
Yeah, they've had a bad week. They've had a bad week with the wife, and they want to take it out on somebody. That's where it is.
Yeah.
Are you sick? Hey guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, just a little bit quiet though.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dave. My apologies. Bring my picture back.
All right, darling, but you're a little bit quiet. If you can turn your volume up, I've got you all the way up. Turn your volume.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but you're a little bit quiet.
Okay, I don't know. This is my first hangout. I don't know how to bring my picture back.
Really well, Richard. I've got to tell you, this is your first hangout. I know you've not done this before, but the fact that you got in, you got the link, you accepted the link, and you're actually here is brilliant. So well done, you, darling.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me now? Do I sound good?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Oh, I'll see my.
Yeah, no worries.
I don't know how to bring my picture back up. Do I just click on?
Yeah.
There should be a little camera option on your screen, and if you just click the camera option again, it should let you turn the camera back on.
It's a second icon across. You've got your microphone. If you just put your mouse on screen, you've got your microphone and your camera. Just highlight that.
Hey, you're back, Rich.
Right, guys, I'm just going to depart for a little bit. I'm bringing on Matteo in my stead.
Okay.
See you later, mate.
Harry, how do you want camera? Give everyone a back of how you guys met in the first place. I met Matteo on Friday. Matteo came down to London with Harry. And Harry, can you sit here, darling?
Excuse me, folks, and good evening all for everybody being here, but I've got some teeth out my front, so I look awful, so I'm not going to scare anybody without being on camera. Yeah, if I can just introduce Matteo here. He's not a flat earther, but he's very open to discussing subjects, and he's more into knowing why people believe certain things, and believes and agrees with us that we should always challenge what we're being told. Now, I met Matteo in Edinburgh, sitting on a park bench, working as a food courier, waiting for his next appointment. So we had a chat and chatted to him about flat Earth, and then I bumped into him again, and we sort of built up a contact. And Matteo is studying photography at university, and he contacted me to say he'd like to do a short documentary on flat Earth and how people should question things. So he asked if he could film me going out in the streets situations. So yeah, I agreed, and I built up a really good rapport with Matteo. Now, although he's still not flat earther, but he's very open-minded and his own critical thinking skills, and he may pose a few provocative questions to the panel, and I think that's great. It's great for us, and it's great for our own learning.
Bring it. You know what I mean? Like, what can anybody say? So, bring it. What's up, Harry? How you doing, buddy?
This is Matteo.
So that's your introduction to Matteo. Matteo's with us. He's been out with us all weekend. You guys have all got an awesome opportunity here to talk to somebody that is not completely on board with what's going on. It's almost like an open mic session now for you guys to converse with each other. So I'm going to hand it over to Matteo. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm still here, but I'm going to let Matteo go.
And Matteo's been around the flat Earth subject for over a year now, and I've got a lot of respect for him because he's looked into it, and he has some really challenging questions, so which is great.
And he wants to ask you all some questions.
Hi. So as said, I mean, I'm doing a documentary about what John is doing, especially.
Okay.
Because even though I do not believe, I must tell you the audio of this conversation because I might use it on the documentary. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Thanks. So basically, what I'm doing is showing what it did, because even though it didn't convince me that the Earth is flat, it made me start a way of thinking where I'm always looking around myself and trying to understand how the world works. Okay, so I would like to the audience to have the same experience when they see the documentary, even though they don't believe that that the Earth is flat or a globe. I don't know. They will start thinking about it. So, because I have seen a lot of what John is doing, and all these guys here, being with them these days, I see they have a lot of energies, and it's something I'm seeing some just strength of will that I cannot say it myself. I would not have the energies to do what they do the way they do it. So what worries me is this is going to be a big if, but what if in a couple of days, a couple of months, a couple of years, whatever it is, we discover that the Earth is actually a globe, and we can all agree on that. I'm just saying, what if this happens? Then where would this energy that they have and you guys have for sure go? Would you do something else, or what would happen to all the things that you have done that would be almost meaningless? But, well, not meaningless because they did something to me.
Firstly, what I just want to say is, if that was going to happen, it would have happened by now. It's now 2018, yes, and the amount of technology, rocket technology we're supposed to have now, we should have an 8K live feed on the moon, which is supposed to be lunar locked to the Earth, and be able to watch the Earth rotate 24 hours a day. Yeah, that doesn't happen. Yeah, no rockets go to space. If you start looking at all NASA footage with a critical eye, what you will see is there is a hell of a lot of fakery going on there. A lot of augmented virtual reality, virtual technology, a lot of harnesses, yeah, a lot of vomit comets. Yeah, I've been through hours and hours and hours of footage, and I've got like probably about an hour's worth of footage where there's inconsistencies, where you're seeing basically harnesses, where you're seeing glitches, where you're seeing augmented virtual reality glitches. A good example is one where he makes a hand gesture, and he thinks he passes him a cap, and he actually hangs fresh air up, and the cap's still there in 3D space. These things can't be explained.
I've seen these videos. John showed me all this, but here I'm not trying to say that the Earth is actually a globe. I
understand that, but if it would have been proved, it would have been proved by now. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I totally agree.
There's a lot more lies, though, isn't there?
What I mean is that what if this happens? How? But what if there's parallel world in which we all agree that the Earth is a globe? Then I want to know all these energies that these guys have showed me. Where would it go?
Okay.
So if you are you have a lot of.
Go on, Zanny. Go on. Chime in, my darling.
It's a good question, actually, because I think it brings up an important point. For me, this whole thing, it's a part of a realization. And if it turned out that I've been wrong all this time, then I'd have to continue to work on myself and reevaluate the way I go about them. In this way, one of the most important things to do is to work on your own spirituality and concentrate on how you approach people, how you interact with other people, and just, are you caring, kind of stuff. So for me, I just reevaluate myself and continue to put energy into that, because the biggest thing that, we all want the world to change, and you've got to be the change that you want to see. So it's just an extension of that for me. I'm not saying I wouldn't be wounded, and my ego would be dent, but I'd pick myself up and carry on.
So then would you do something else? I mean, I can see, I don't know about you, but I see these guys have a lot of energy. So
thinking that I was fooled for 46 years. thinking that I was fooled for 43 years, to think that I'd only been fooled for another 2 years probably won't make that much difference, really, would it? You know what I mean? It's a bigger shock to find out that you've been fooled all your life, and then to find out in the end that you was wrong for probably 2 years. It probably wouldn't have an adverse effect on me, to tell you the truth, if I'm honest.
But I'm not worried about the effect. I want to know, because I know these people have the energy. What would they do next? I'm not interested in the...
It's bigger than Flat Earth, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but yes, you know what?
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm asking it.
For me,
yeah, it's like there's more to the Flat Earth lie. There's like the vaccines, the chemtrails, the fluoride in the water, the GMOs. It's all of the lies encapsulated that was something we can all agree on, that all this is going on. So,
I agree with you, Aaron. So even if they said the Earth was a globe, what we have, these other problems as well, so it wouldn't go away. Even if they said the Earth was a globe, why did they still fake the moon landings? Why?
Right. It's not even.
We're not allowed to download 6 So for me, I can't relate to the question enough to answer it properly, because
neither can I.
I'd have to visualize the reality of the question in order to place my mind in a way that I could conjectively answer that. So for me to believe that in 2 days' time they could turn around and go, listen, guys, look, we've got definitive proof of the globe, because I know that is just utterly impossible. And there's not a few things that I would say that.
I'm not saying that it's possible.
So for me, it would be everything else that would come into it. I would still say, well, why has the Trilateral Commission got as much control as they have? Why have NASA faked as many things as they have? Why do they get as much money as they do? Why do all the countries agree on not monetizing the Antarctic Treaty? Why can they all hold hands like WWF wrestlers behind the scenes and fight in front of us? Like, why are they killing and doing mass genocide and using direct energy weapons to put cities in flames and leave cities unburnt? Like, there's mass genocide going on, and they're killing left, right, and center. But having said that, they're all holding their hands and in full agreement about, let's not monetize Antarctica, guys. Let's not even let anybody see the coast without our permission, okay? Our express permission. In fact, let's not let them use any machinery, any tools. Absolutely. We're not doing it. And not only that, we'll not talk about it, and don't anyone ask, or you'll get called a lunatic. But
yes, and also, like I say, a lie is a lie. Yeah, you fool me once. Yeah. Shame on you.
I just want to let everybody else chime in on that. We've got another.
Hi guys.
Another addition. He's over in you're over in America, my darling. Matt, we're just Matt isn't actually all the way there with us at the moment. So you've got an opportunity to speak to someone that's not completely where we are with it. And he's just asked a question to us all, CC, and said, 2 days' time, if they said you lived on a globe. And Chris UK, thank you so much for joining. Matt's just asked, if in 2 days' time they said you were living on a globe, what would you do with your energy? So I'm going to ask that question to CC first. If you can hear me, my darling. Hello, and everybody, that's CC.
Yeah, I want to say hi to everybody. Richard, my friend, yes, met you in Times Square. Excellent. Cheers.
How you doing, buddy? Thank you. Absolutely.
So yeah, if in 2 days' time they told you lived on a globe, CC, what would your response to that be?
If I lived on a globe, well, we believed it for, I don't know, over 40 years. I believed it, and just like everybody else here has believed it. And we now know why the whole, everybody always asks why. It's about the money. I mean, you've got NASA that's funneling in all millions and millions of dollars a day on a daily basis. And it's all about the bucks. I mean, they've opened up a whole new religion. And we believed it. We bought it. We thought we lived on this globe. I mean, we were all there. I was on boat. I mean, who wasn't?
You're right. You're absolutely right. It's also, too, is about, me, I wouldn't even entertain that. Like, I would answer that so precisely, because, I don't believe that it's flat. I know it's flat. See, the reason why that there's millions of people waking up to this, because there's no evidence of the globe. See, I come in from a perspective where I try to debunk flat Earth. night, like it pissed me off. It pissed like the flat Earth. Holy shit, you know. It's 2018, you know, like, you know, we want a ball, you know. So, I come to find out there was no evidence of the globe but NASA photos, and NASA photos, all the NASA photos.
Don't get me started with this.
Right, get called into question. It's fuckery, basically. Excuse my French, but that's basically what it is. So there's no evidence of the globe because the globe does not exist. So, and that's you know, so it would be like we would be talking about something else right now. I would be saying like this. Well, why do you believe that? Why do you believe we live on a globe? Because we were taught that. We're talking about 25 generations of lies, indoctrination. Come to find out, we're learning just how to actually go out and test and do things ourselves because we can't trust people. And if that information came out, my first question is, where's that information coming from? They'll be coming out with a glove. Oh yeah. Try.
I understand that. I'm not questioning whether we need to believe that it is or not. I'm not trying to answer the question: is the Earth flat or a globe?
Yeah. Can I just say one more thing because I've got to go. Yeah. What I wanted to say as well. Where would I put my energy? This energy was created out of the lies. Yeah. All my drive, all my energy, and all my efforts. Yeah, is created from the lies. It's not something what I've had built up and I just want to get rid of. It's been created through the lies. You know what I mean? That's what's giving me the drive to do what I do.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I thank you for this because this is what I was looking for. It's good to know where the energy comes from. What I want to know is that
from the lies.
If we discover that the Earth is a globe, where do these energies go? And Roxanne answered this question perfectly because she just said that there are lots of different things that you need to fight for. Basically, it's not only about the flat Earth. So what I was worried was just, is this all going to be wasted? No. What these guys do, like have them something to do about it because they can do it better than I would.
Chris, what's your response? Did you hear the answer, the question, my darling? What would you do if you were told it was a globe?
Yeah, he responded already.
Yep, Chris.
Sorry, I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
In my mind, it's not what we've been told. We're not on a spinning ball. But I think a more interesting answer to the question would be, how does it change you to find this information out? It changes your whole outlook on everything. So if the flat Earth was disproved, it wouldn't change the way it's changed your mindset, the way you look at all this information you're given. And now you found this out, you look at everything critically. You look at everything. You don't take news or information as it's said to you. You go and look at it. And that's what millions of people are doing. They're analysing everything they're told. So this is just isn't flat Earth. It's people looking at the information that they're given and analysing it and working it out. So this is just going to change everything. It's millions of people's mindset has been changed. It's going to change the whole way people look at the world. So the flat is not just about the flat Earth. It's about the way it's changed people's thoughts and the way they think about the place they live in. So yeah, it's flat, 100% for me. It's the way it's changed people's thoughts, the processes they use to work things out. And it's millions and millions of people doing this. That's powerful. So if this fell flat, if everyone lost interest, the people will move on. Critical thinking is a dangerous thing to the people who are trying to control us. And it's going to change the world no matter what happens, eventually.
Well, I think
you're right. Ask the question, what will this do? It's changed people's thought processes. So how powerful is that? It's beyond flat Earth. It's more important than flat Earth, probably. Changed the thought processes of so many people. That's it.
You're absolutely right. It's just the mother of all lies. That's it. It's just the mother of all lies.
Well, you find a big lie, then it makes you look at everything. And I mean everything again. History, the lot. And you just come up with so much lies and lies and lies and lies and lies. it's just amazing how much stuff you uncover that's just total absolute bollocks, basically. So that's the most powerful thing for me, is this flat Earth has brought out in people. It's changing people's attitudes.
You'll never look at things the same again. Right, guys, I've got to shoot.
See you later, mate.
Yeah, it's been nice talking to you all, and hopefully I'll see you all soon.
Nice
to meet you.
Chris, very nice meeting you, my friend.
Okay. Take care.
Yeah.
All the best, Dave.
Okay, Ruben. See you later. Aaron,
Okay, mate.
Zanny, everyone else. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Roxanne.
All right, darling. If you want to ask away your next question, fire away.
That was the
That was
most
it.
pressing one. Yeah,
The pressing
just
one. Do you have anything
because
else you want to ask?
the thing is that now I just love what you guys do, and to me it would be such a huge waste to see that if you find that that wasn't a lie, you would stop doing it. I wanted to know what would you do next, and both of you actually answered the question.
Yeah. Would you possibly give any guys on the panel an opportunity to ask you a question, with them knowing that you're not fully awake?
Yeah, definitely.
I want to throw it out to the panel. I'll move from on my screen from left to right. So Cece, if you can hear me.
I can hear you fine.
Theo, who's sitting beside me, he's not on board. You being on board, do you have a question that you'd like to ask him?
Oh, a question. Okay, so you believe we live on a spinning ball?
I do.
I'm sorry, what's your name? My name's Chris.
Matteo.
I'm sorry?
Matteo.
Matteo. Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so I mean, where to begin? I mean, really, guys, everybody knows. Yeah, I mean, it's like beating a dead horse right now. What woke me up was really the reality that I learned when I was a child, when I was a kid, was the fact that we are spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. That the sun is 93 million miles away. The moon's 268,000 miles away. And then mysteriously now, when you look at them and the solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, they're the same exact size. Wow. Aren't we gifted with that? Yeah, I mean, really. So you're telling me the whole evolution of the human species is now alive and intelligent enough, and now can see that the sun and the moon are the same exact size, but yet science says they're not. But yet we're so far away from each other in the solar system, like we learned, and it just happened to be that way right now where we are. That was kind of confusing to me. I never really understood that, because I mean, have you ever seen a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse?
Yes.
And you see how perfect it is? I mean, down to the millimeter, it's just so perfect. I mean, it's too perfect. It's almost picturesque in a way.
But a lot of the nature does are perfect. They look good, and they just a show of equilibrium. And I mean, I'm not saying that I know that it is like this. I like to question whether it is true or not. But if the thing is just that it is in an equilibrium, the distance and the shape is just perfect to see them similar. Because I know how nature works and it makes everything wonderful, I think it might be possible.
It does.
I don't know that it's true. I don't know that it's true. I'm not saying that I know, but it's not impossible, because everything you see in nature as this wonderful thing, and even this might be one. It's not. I need to see it with my eyes that they are actually the same size to put them together.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, there's so many ways of looking at it. Have you been down to the beach?
Yeah. I come from an island.
Oh, perfect. So you should definitely see something. I mean, you see how flat the horizon is, right?
Yeah, it definitely looks flat. I can agree on that.
I mean, there's no curvature at all whatsoever. I mean, have you taken a camera down to the beach at all, or just taking a quick look?
Times, but because I know how a lens works, I know if I can see it or not. It might not even be the real curvature.
Yeah, you know what I find amazing is what really got me.
With a camera, can understand whether it is flat or not.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You know, when I zoom in on a boat that's 50 or 60 miles away, you know what they do in Long Island? I'm from New York, and down at there's a beach called Jones Beach, and the barges like to come about on the horizon right over there, if you want to call it the horizon. I don't even want to consider it that anymore, but for argument's sake, let's just call it the horizon for now. And these things are 50 or 60 miles away. You just take your, thing out here and measure it from the calculations that we grew up with, which I don't even remember learning, to be honest with you. I don't remember learning anything about the curvature of our Earth in school at all. I don't even think there was a mention of it. But however, we do have a map that'll let you know, when things go below the curve, and you shouldn't be able to see them. So if you're 50 miles out, please, anybody, do you have the calculator? I don't have it in front of me right now. I'm in the middle of moving. Richard, do you have anything over there with the curvature?
I'm actually having computer technical difficulties right now.
Okay, all right. I don't have it in front of me. If you give me a second, I can get it out. But I'm not sure what 50.
No worries. I'm going to ask Richard real quick. What would you ask Matt if you had an opportunity to speak to him here now? If you ask him.
First of all, thank you, Roxanne. And Matteo, thank you. I appreciate what you're doing, because you have a light bulb went on in your head, and obviously you probably just got to that point where I don't know what to believe, and that's fine. But you say, hey, you found someone so passionate in doing something, going out there speaking the truth because he believes the truth. See, when you come into this truth, it just takes over you. Like, I never met anything like this that I want to do. I never thought I was going to be an activist and doing anything. So thank you for what you're doing and making a documentary, bringing attention, bringing awareness. Shout out to you. Great questions. My thing is it's teaching us all how to be critical thinkers. Like, we think somebody's smarter than us figured it out. And that's how to get you. We don't double check. We just take anything. We just believe anything. And we tell our kids about Santa Claus, because it's a tradition. So, and then come to find out that's not real and your parents lied to you, but we tell our kids, don't lie to us.
Exactly.
It's just lies on top of lies on top of lies. And one thing I tell people, because people just so all know people know, I'm going to give you information that most people that you have to be close to me actually know this. I was in 9/11. I'm a firefighter and emergency medical technician, and I was down here for the rescue. That's why I have a raspy voice. I always had a deep voice, but I have a raspy voice because I had to get operated. Because from being down here for part of the rescue, and I knew, New Yorkers know I'm from New York too. I'm from Brooklyn, but I was living in Manhattan when the buildings fell down. And I remember, I fell asleep. I woke up, my pagers, we're having this, pagers at my job. And I turned on the TV. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I was partying the night before. And they were like, well, if you have any medical attention. So I know some of the guys at the firehouse, this is what whatever. And I went down there and helped them. Went down there, part of the rescue, because, they use all the resources to go down there. You had to keep some resources back no matter what. You got a whole lot of populations of people, that need help too. So that's why they had a lot of mutual aid coming from all over the place. But when I knew this was Fugazi, was when they had the freezers already there where we were putting the bodies at. All the dead firefighters. Every time the construction workers, the steel workers, took the steel beams off, we were putting the bodies, and it was like, wow, these freezers are still there. So, and then my friend, he's like, he's an officer down in Fairfax County, Virginia. He was like, he was there, and he told me, he was like, straight up, there was no plane that hit the Pentagon. So I'm like, this is all theater, man. I just never didn't I didn't know how deep the theater, went. So my thing is, hey man, you gotta come to realization, Matteo, that hey, that we've been lied to, man. And it's overwhelming evidence. It's not like just one or two things. I mean, it's tons. And I tell people, like I was saying before, I don't get into conspiracies. because like some of them have dead ends and dead rows. I never was really into that. But with the flat Earth, well, no, actually the food deception was the first, because I was like, oh wow, they've been lying about this. No wonder, you know, big pharma, that's to make money, want to keep you sick, work you. And I know what they do. The way we take care of our old people is wrong. It's actually evil. They work and then we just stick them in a nursing home. You know, so I actually go to the nursing home and take care of your parents that you put in the nursing homes. And these people, they don't care about taking care of these people over here. A lot of them don't even know their names. You know, how long, I was crying. When I first woke up, I'm like, wow, you know, just start to see things differently. And I'm like, this is wrong. This is wrong. You know? And just the way we taking care of. So there's so many things wrong. We need a massive reset, baby. Massive reset. It may get ugly before it get worse.
I need to thank you for that, because you said something very important at the beginning when you said that this thing taught you about critical thinking, which is the main reason why I'm doing this documentary. John, when I first met him, he helped me basically develop my critical thinking, because I started looking around at what was going on. And I'm doing the documentary exactly because I want the audience to experience the same thing. Start thinking about what they are seeing all around every day, not what they see in television or the newspaper or whatever. That they start looking with their own eyes. So I'm glad that that's what you gain from this experience, basically.
Yeah. It's real, man. It's real, man. It's real. I tell people, they're like, oh no, I should take out my government insurance. I got government World Trade insurance for the rest of my life. I got to take Mucinex for the rest of my life, you know, because they gave us these masks, these paper masks. You got all of these explosive concrete, you got all of these lights that were in there. I mean, asbestosis, all kinds of stuff. Where real people was down there. We're dealing with evil, man. This is going to come down to good versus evil.
I just want to interject really. Remember, it was Christy Whitman who said that the air is safe in New York City, you know, which I knew was complete horseshit. All right. I mean, you're talking about two enormous buildings that were completely pulverized. And you're talking about asbestos, you're talking about computers, you're talking about, they didn't have smartphones back then, but they had cell phones back then. They had computer batteries that was just completely obliterated. And there's air, and I mean, it was just such a crock of shit that nobody knew that it was completely toxic down there, completely death. I mean, that's what it was. I feel really bad. I mean, it was just horrible. I'm sorry, I just want to interject, and I'm standing by.
Truth, though, it's the truth. And like I was just saying to Matt and Harry, it's only when you actually speak to people on the ground where things have happened that you start to get the real story, the real picture of what's going on, without it becoming conceited and filtered through mainstream and regurgitated to the masses how they want it portrayed, a bit like yes. You get it unfiltered when you speak to people on the ground that were personally involved in something, and personally involved in it, he knows that certain things will happen. And I feel that we're this generation's version of that. There were people in the time of the moon landing that knew that it wasn't legit. They were screaming it from the rooftops. But as time's gone on, we always know the victors write the history books. The winners write down what gets documented, not the losers. And I feel that we're this generation's version of that. I feel that when Elon Musk did that circus act with the Tesla car, that was our generation's version of the new age moon landing. That was the modern day, let's try the men in black pen and try and put them back to sleep. Let's try and make them really believe they live on a ball again. Let's do some CGI, and then we'll really insult their intelligence with the press release. Your main one-hit wonder statement is going to be telling the masses, tell it's real because it looks so fake. For me, that was like the ultimate insult when I said that. I just went, wow, you're not even waiting until 20 years later to come some sly remark. You're doing it the next day. And I don't know if anyone else here watched Elon Musk throughout his career. And And you can go through the documented videos of him giving TED talks, you name it, out in Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia. He's been everywhere giving talks. He never even used to wear black, ever. Press release for that Tesla show, he was dressed in black, like he was in mourning for the lie that he was about to give people. He looked how somber and upset he looked, and look at that in comparison to any of his previous talks today. Completely like the sorry ass, yeah, a little bit like the sorry ass astronauts when they sat there looking like naughty kids. Looked exactly the same, exactly the same. And so I feel that we lived through that in our generation. We lived through that. There was all of us that are awoke to this knew what we were looking at on the TV. We knew what we saw the crowds go. Like, sorry, is anyone else? Sorry, I'm feeling BS from this straight away. So for me, we're just going to keep running through a cycle where they keep attempting to put the masses to sleep, and they keep ramping it up and ramping it up, and technology and everything else that we have at our fingertips is allowing them to do that. Most people don't even realise the programs they're watching. They think that some of these scenes are actually on the beach, and they're not. They're in the studio. So there's so many other things to clue people up, not just the protection of flat earth and the measure. There's other things that come into the umbrella of the week. The fact that they're getting mugged off on a daily basis, getting laughed at by the establishment. The Tri-Lateral Commission monetizing everything, having a finger in every single pot, right down to your Shell garage, your Texaco garage, the IMF, Federal Bank, you name it, they're involved in it. Look at the first statement of what it describes the Tri-Lateral Commission to be. It just sounds like a crime rate straight away. It sounds like, you know, when you're playing a Monopoly game and you're a kid and untrustworthy friends come in the bank and go, no, we don't want you to play it because it's cheap. We're just going to modify them. We have all the hotels and it's not going to be fair. And that, I feel like that's what the Trilateral Commission is about. We're just going to hold on to control everything and then feed it up to bring competition with each other, a little bit like WWF. That's what I think our reality is. We keep believing this act going on around us behind closed doors.
Yeah, but the monopoly is a good metaphor, yeah.
Education system is the same. Every time you go around the board and pass a test, you pass go. Around the board again, around the board again, around the board again.
And it's so
to be honest, before it is more about what they teach us at school. I mean, rather than teaching us how to understand things, they just put things in our head.
Yes. Yes.
In fact,
that's what I was when I was asking where would this energy go. I was hoping with something. I would put them in trying to change the way that school works, because they didn't teach us to understand things. They only teach us the things.
Understand our reality. Is that what you mean? Understand the
real
reality of what's
you need to understand something. Instead, they just tell you something that someone else understood.
Right. And it's a learning process. Because they got to change the sciences, change the math, change the physics. They got to change everything, man. And it's the power.
You're not changing that. You can actually change the way you teach things.
Yes.
Rather than telling me that 2 + 2 is 4, they should tell me how to get to that result.
Exactly.
I should not learn that is 4 just because I remember it.
Yes.
Learning because I understood how it can be 4. And that's for every subject at school.
You hit it right on.
That's what I think. Even if you just use math or any other thing that you use now, just the way they do it.
So I think what you're trying to say is they don't teach us how to think, they teach us what to think.
Exactly.
And this is the problem, yeah.
That's all part of the indoctrination. I mean, and it starts at a very young age. From the minute you're in school, you've got a globe in front of you. I mean, what else are you going to think? I mean, when you're a child, any child growing up, the first thing
also have the planet. You also have the whole map in the wall.
Well, that's true too. There it is. That's a flat earth. But
before the kids even get to school, you look at the programming that parents put their kids down to watch. The globe's just pushed to them. The globe's pushed on them when they're looking at the program.
Exactly.
There's a kid show.
You just look at the news, and there's always a globe.
Every weather.
Yeah.
Look at MGM.
I'm glad you said that, Roxanne. like all my kids are flat earthers. All right, they drive the teacher crazy, right? But I get them because I said, hey, they're from 5 years old and up. They know our true cosmology. They go, all right, well, if you're gonna tell me about Poe, well then prove it. So we never had those chances. We didn't have that chance to question the globe like these kids have now. And it drives their teachers crazy. And so they're actually looking into this, and they called me. They were like, well, can you tell? I was like, no, I'm not, because if my kids know Santa Claus is not real. My kids know that me and their mom is Santa Claus, right? So now my kids have got to go to school and tell your kids Santa Claus is not real. And that you don't live on a spinning ball. Right. Right, exactly. So, and it's so hard, like, because now we're gonna like, look, I tell my kids all the time, look, what you're learning is complete bullshit, okay? Right? But you got to go through it, right? You know, you got to go through it. In the meantime, we're trying to make things right, but this is you're actually being a part of getting people to change. And I tell them, if you're in that classroom and you're the only one in that classroom, and you know that the Earth is not a spinning ball of water hurling through space, and all those other little do, you're smarter than all those little kids. So you're special. You know, you're special. So it's a learning thing, man. Like I said, I've learned something from this. You know, I know it's flat. You know, it may not be it may not be in my mind. We still got to find out. But I tell people, let's find out together. It's clearly not what they say it is. So, you know, let's find out together. And I think people have all different ways to contribute to the activism. And people are doing it. You're seeing it. People talking about expeditions to go Antarctica. You know, that's what's up, son. Let's force them. And don't be afraid to talk to the cops. They're just human beings. Don't be afraid to talk to the military people. We all have family that was in the military. Convince them, because when the shit hits the fan, they're going to be the ones that have to protect us. Because we've been lied to so bad and so hard for so long that we forgot that human connection. You know, and how to be kind to one another. You know, it's our human nature to teach each other and show each other things, you know. So this is powerful, man. This is powerful. I spent a lot of time. I actually dedicated my life to this. That's the deal I made with the man upstairs. I dedicated my life. I'm doing your work, boss, because you woke me up for a reason. So I hear the stories out there, you know. I try to just listen and learn. You know, I learn from everybody, and I just continue to do research about different things. You got Ruben Gorsuch. He's taking dramatic, beautiful, debunking the globe. Every day, this guy's getting out with his P900 and, you know, and filming the moon setting, going out of the view, turning it around, and filming the sun coming up. I mean, it's amazing. It's beautiful what people are doing. And it's just amazing. I think we all contribute, and it's going down, man. We're going to force them in the corner. They're not going to know what the fuck to do, just like, you know, Daniel Press said. They ain't going to know what to do. They ain't going to know what the fuck to do, man. So we got to force them. That's why you've been hearing a lot of things about space lately, space this, space that. Oh, okay, it's all theater, man. I tell people all the time, and they're like, what? All theater. There was nobody bigger than politics than I was. I thought I had a rap on everything. Come to find out, the people at the top, they hold both sides. It's a game, man.
This is what I love about it. This is it. It's going to get them to a corner. They're painting themselves into a corner. Elon Musk is painting himself to a corner. We're never going to Mars. We're never going to the moon. They can kick the can all the way down the road as long as they want. They can do whatever they want, but it's not going anywhere. I've said it a million times. It's a joke. But yeah, absolutely.
Guys, I was going to just ask Zanny real quick. Zanny, I know you're on mute just now. If you can hear me, darling, if you could come off mute. I just wanted you to give me a quick synopsis, if you could. Sorry to just go on a random one here. I wanted to, because I know you do some different bits and pieces from some of the other people that are on the panel. I know you're into your art big time, and you get out there and do activism in your way. You're quite diverse with how you do your activism. And I wanted to know what motivates you to get out onto the streets and do the activism that you
do. I'm not sure what motivates me. I just, at the time when I started doing it, I've been doing since about 2014. I've been doing what I do, which is I leave tags everywhere. Bus stops, park benches, walls, bathroom toilets, categories, and where they've got children's displays, I'll go and put my own display for Flat Earth, things like this. What motivates me? These. I know these people's subconscious, and they've seen something I've done somewhere, and then maybe a few months later, someone else that they're talking to might bring up the conversation of Flat Earth. So then it's reinforcing that what they've already seen. So we all know how powerful the subconscious mind is and how that's used on us all the time. So I just like to reverse things and kind of just give the system a taste of its own medicine, you know. So I'm like a wrench in the system. I'm like a virus. That's what I think of myself as, a virus in the system. And I don't take any notice of the what there's or what's on the news or anything like that, you know. I've got my own mind and I use it and encourage my children to do. And so one of the big motivations is the fact that I have children and I don't want them growing up living a lie, thinking that the government has got their best hearts and trusting these people that Cece and Richard already said are pure evil, you know, and if they're willing to sort of pure evil on innocent people, anything that they tell you, you know. So yeah, that's what motivates me.
Well said, my darling. Well said, my darling. I wanted to ask the same thing to you, Ruben, sweetheart, if that's all right. Ruben, if you can hear me, what motivates you to get out there onto the streets, babes?
I'd say, like, same as Zanny, my children inspire me. I don't want them to go through all the lies that we've been through. And knowing that they're, apart from Junior, they're all in the system, being taught the same stuff. We were taught evolution, the Big Bang, and it's all nonsense, you know. I have learned more in 3 years about the world and about history and science and everything that you can think of in 3 years than I ever did in all of my schooling. And so I do it for the kids, man. I just see it as, if we can get them now, they don't have to go through, like, how old are we?
Me?
No, it's okay. No, it's just
Who are you talking to, buddy?
a glitch. It's just a glitch. I'm just gonna move to the left a bit while Ruben's getting his connection back. Chris UK, can you give me a synopsis? You came out to Hyde Park on the 24th of June. I'm going to use that as a specific example. What motivated you to get out into the streets, Chris?
I just wanted to make this place we live a better place for everybody. I care about people. It's the people that I've met who found Flat Earth are so remarkable, and you can see how this has changed them totally. The whole life, the way they think about things, not just the Flat Earth, the way they treat other people and get involved in groups and meet other people. Nearly 100% of the people I've met have been outstanding. And it's something that's brought us all together. So, yeah, the reason I do it is basically so the kids don't think the dads are nutter. So, prove it, and that's what I'm trying to do the best I can. To prove it to the kids, but make the place a better for their future. If we change minds and the way things are worked out and what the corruption and everything else, if people realise they'll stick up for themselves and not fall for all the daft news and media information. It'll make it a better place.
Well
That's
said.
all, man.
Nice one. Richard, what motivates you, sweetheart?
It's something more powerful than me. I don't even think it's about me. I don't think it's about none of us. I think it's about, it's that time. It's that time to wake up. And I think that the reason why that we came into this information.
Matt's going to go and sit on the sofa. Just pause 1 sec, Rich. It's been
a pleasure talking to you guys. I really appreciate all you're doing.
Pleasure.
Even
Thank you.
thank you all, guys.
Bye.
Have a great time.
Love your work.
Bless.
Thanks, guys.
Richard, go on, carry on, darling.
Yeah, it's just I think just it's something powerful, more powerful than me. I just feel it. Like, all right, I woke up for a reason. I'm good with people. I'm good in sales. I'm good with. I understand people. I always had a gift of, I'm from the streets of New York, and I had a gift with people. I'm always like what's called the bridge maker. I like bridging people together, bridging connections, in and out of circles. I'm a natural born leader, and sometimes, and that's okay if you're not a leader. So you have to learn how to follow, so you can learn how to lead. So you're either going to lead, follow, or get the hell out of the way. So that's why I kind of like learn how to, okay, what I'm going to put my energy into. Is this worth it? And this, to me, I feel like if it's relevant to you, then it's relevant. It's relevant to me, so it's relevant. So, and that's what makes it. How many people can I talk to today? Well, all the questioning, answer the questions. I get a lot of questions. I interact with a lot of things. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing 5,000 things at one time, but I enjoy it because I'm waking people up. To get people to you stop their world from spinning, and you're giving them another look on reality. We live in a supernatural world, man. It's evidence that they've been hiding the giants. We've been lied to about everything just to fit their model. And it's overwhelming evidence that that's the case. So you got to be like, wow, what's this world? And you see things about trees, you're like, what the hell was going on? Like, so, there's a lot of different stories, man. But all I just know is, like, this place is we're here.
Yeah.
Let's figure out together what this place is. Let's map this. And we got to get the ball rolling. And that's what we're doing. And that's why this motivates me, Roxanne. That's why this drives me. And I don't care. I'm not fearful of anything. All I'm going around and saying, this is what you got to take. I'm just saying it's flat and motionless, just like it appears to be. That's it. And enemy of state, right? Come on, man.
Well said, my darling. Absolutely well said. Thesey, what motivates you?
I mean, it's just that the fact, that it's so important for people to wake up. To the fact that everything around you is a complete lie. Every single thing is a lie. Total lie. The movies, everything, all the way back to the beginning from when, and I just don't understand why people can't quite see this yet, and when they're not quite there, and they're watching movies, they're watching all the signs that are in these movies, all the 666s, all the 333s. I mean, all of it. It's right in front of your face. I mean, one of my favorite movies I just recently watched. And I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe I missed all of this stuff. But it's there. I mean, it's almost like a religion for them, Hollywood itself, that they have to, in their satanic, psychotic way, they have to show this to people. Because it's almost like, in 10 years or 5 years or whatever this is all going to come out, because obviously it is. It's going to hit all the major news. Your favorite baseball player, your favorite basketball player, your favorite, whatever it may be, is going to finally come out and say, hey, look, I believe in the flat earth. They already have, but they've retracted what they've said, which is all, exactly. And that's how they play the game. That's how it is. But I mean, it's unbelievable. There's motivating me. I don't like to see zombies. And that's what we have here in New York. Zombies.
And you know what, Chris, you hit it, because it was crazy when I woke up and I'm going outside. I'm like, wow, everybody's sleeping.
Oh, sleeping, sound asleep.
Sound asleep. I'm like, wake up, wake up. I just want to just go, wake up. And I think that's why if we woken up, we have that ability to use it. So what? You make mistakes. So what? You say 8 inches per mile, rather, then so what? Get people to think. So what? Challenge you. Prove you wrong. Say it's flat. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Exactly. I was there too, and I just can't believe how long I was there for. I'm shocked that I didn't see this in my 20s. And I'm really pissed off that I didn't. because I probably would have made much more of an impact on that because I had more time on my hands. You know, I mean, we all did. You know, now we're you know, I mean, we're just trying to make a statement, and this is it, and here we are, and I'm just so glad to meet all you guys. I mean, this is just fantastic. I love it. I really do.
You're doing what you're doing. You're doing fantastic. Doing fantastic. Keep talking about it every day, all day long. Keep talking about it. That's the best thing we can do. Talk about it. Bring it up. You know, we got these holidays. Come on, bring it up. Bring it up. Yeah, it's flat. So what? And you know, you're looking at me. I'm crazy. You're the one to think that you live on a spinning ball. You know, and then you making them just start to think. Then they're like, oh, okay. Don't be afraid to engage, man. You know, whatever. And if that's not your thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Get into these groups. Start waking. I'm seeing people waking up, dude. People are waking up. They're like motivated. People are like really seeing, and NASA is getting them. NASA is doing it to themselves. Everything they do is complete bullshit. Everything, 100%. I'm sitting there just laughing, and all you got to do is spend. Like I heard Dave Marsh say, he spent hours, and that's how I did. I literally was spending, I don't know, hundreds of hours watching all their videos. Globebusters, man. Shout out to them. 100%.
Okay. So that's what motivates you. I've got Victoria Rose here with me. She beside me.
Hey, Victoria.
Hi to Vic. I'm going to ask Vic the same question as well. I want to know what motivates you to get out and get onto the streets, do the camps, have the human interaction. What drives you? What drives you to do that?
Well, hi everyone. First, I'm sorry I have had a few drinks tonight because we've done a long weekend and a long week as well. What motivates me? Well, my passion for everything what I've got into really. It's all started prior to Flat Earth, but then Flat Earth was a catalyst and flipped everything on its head. And then it was like it become a passion about exposing the lies and the liars in control, and just to tell as many people as possible. So that's why we use not only, you know, ourselves and go out in public and speak publicly to the people in person, which is the best thing, because that's like, but also online, because you can reach a lot more people online. And so you can combine the two, which is go out in person and be filmed and then put that online. So it's like you see I think that's why Harry's stuff has done so well, and other people's stuff, that they've done the things in person, like Zanny and others. They've done the things live themselves and then put it online. So it's not only getting to the local community and the people who can actually attend or get to the person in person, but it's also getting out there online. So it's reaching the masses then. And that's the only way that we're going to be able to wake up people. I don't like that saying even, but like make people aware more.
It's having that human interaction to spread awareness, isn't it? You're making people aware.
Yeah, it's, I find that like the more I'm finding out stuff, the less I'm realizing that I know. So I'm not finding, I know everything now. The more I know more than I've ever known in my life, but I'm realizing now that I know fucking nothing compared to what should be out there, what we should know.
Does that drive you forward, that as well? The progression.
Oh God, yeah, the learning of things, and the fact that like we was taught from an early age that we've done everything, we knew everything, and there's nothing left to see, and we've got to look into space, and there's a little tiny bit here and there that we might not have covered, but in general, we've learned everything. That in itself for me was absolutely eye-opening and mind-blowing, because it was everything's now up for debate, and then we can only go off what we can physically do ourselves. So that's why the Flat Earth thing, like, it measures flat on too many places that we can physically measure. It measures flat. All water measures flat. There's land masses that go for hundreds of miles all over Earth. As the Earth, what we can get to, I don't know about extra. So it's a fucking very funny shaped ball, so it doesn't measure into a ball. And we're not bothered. I found some people said it doesn't matter about the shape. It's not about the ball. If it's a ball, it should act like a ball. We want it to be a ball. If it's a ball, it should be doing the ball thing, but it's not. It's doing a flat thing and a non-spinning thing. So we've got to come up with all these models, and like, yeah, everyone buys into the AE map. But I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that we do not know exactly what anything is. We just know that it measures flat and it's no spin, and that we're being lied to, controlled, and made into slaves.
I'm gonna link it in here because I just brought Vic in on the end of that question. So I'm gonna start the next question with Vic. Yeah, what do you personally to you? What do you get out of having those human interactions and making people aware? What do you get out of it?
My whole life has changed, so I get everything out of it. I get my friends that have become more like a family to me. I get my social life. Everything's changed. Everything. I do not really socialise with anyone who's not flat Earth, apart from the odd family member that isn't involved in flat Earth. So,
how do you with street activism? You know, when you've gone out and done a full day, dropped loads of red pills, had awesome, amazing communications with people and interactions with people. When you come away from that, what do you get out of that?
A massive buzz. It's almost like a drug.
Really?
Yeah, well, you do. It must be like an adrenaline thing or something. Like, well, we're giving people, but when you're giving something, even when you give a gift to someone, you're looking for the pleasure in that person. When you give something, you do give, and you're not giving to receive a present. You want to receive some love or some appreciation from it. Otherwise, you won't bother doing it, because no one will. So we do give to get something back. And this is, it's nice to know that you've made a difference, I think.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you.
I did well considering I had way too few minutes. Bye, guys. I'm gone.
I'm going to ask you guys the same question there. What do you all personally get out of street activism? I'm going to start with you, Ruben. What do you get out of street activism? What do you get out of it personally? Whoa. Okay, Ruben, I can't hear you, darling.
Is it there?
Yep, you're there now, babes.
As Victoria was saying, I feel it's its own reward. I enjoy getting people to think, people to critically think about stuff. I feel as though flat earthers think in a way that most people don't, and it's not.
Lost a little volume.
No, it's okay. We might have lost Ruben. His internet's been playing up, so I've got Lee with me. Lee's been out with us on the street activism. He's a Londoner, and I'm going to ask Lee a couple of questions. So Lee, this is CC, Chris, Ruben.
Hey, I just want to let you know. I'm sorry, Roxanne. On your website right here, we've got 24 likes and 24 downs. Okay,
I know.
So we're making a statement.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, for you, Lee, I'm going to ask you what motivated you to get out onto the streets and start talking to people? What motivated you to do that?
Truth, isn't it? You kind of
speak up, babes.
You find the sort of subject, you just sort of you realise it's the truth, and you feel you want to share it with people.
It's as simple as that, isn't it? It is. It's as simple as that. And how do you feel after talking to people about the truth? How do you feel?
I feel good, yeah. And sometimes you get somewhere, sometimes you don't. If they process the information, then it's all good. If they don't, then
on to the next.
Jog on sort of thing. that's how it is, really. But yeah, these people putting a lot of work into this, and John, they're just an inspiration. Roxanne, a brilliant person. The whole lot of them are really nice people. So all good.
Awesomely, thank
Cool.
you, my
It's like
darling.
it's like a big family here, you know. It's
Oh,
good.
thank you, sweetheart. I
Yeah.
appreciate that, darling. And yeah, Ruben's back in the chat. I appreciate you coming back in, Ruben. I know this must be a bit of a headache for you, babes, with the internet flashing in and out. But I seriously appreciate you coming back again, babe. Serious. I'm hoping that
No
you're
worries.
connected. So go on. I'll let you carry on. Go on, darling. You pick up where you left off.
What did I get up to?
What do you when you go out onto the streets and you activate on the streets? What do you bring away from that?
All right, cool. For me, it's its own reward. Getting people to think about things that they haven't before. I feel as though like flat earthers have thought of almost every angle that other people haven't. Do you know what I mean? People that haven't researched flat Earth. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Darling, yeah.
We're on board.
Okay, cool. I just thought it happened again because that's usually what happens. I talk, it freezes, and then I realize, oh my god, I'm talking to myself. Yeah, it's its own reward. Like when the penny drops and you see the light bulb like turn on above someone's head, I think that's its own reward. Watching footage of people, like when Harry's videos come out and you watch footage of people and you see oh my god, it makes so much sense. That is a beautiful thing. So to me, that's its own reward, and just knowing that someone else is going to now research this, and hopefully like the domino effect, they'll tell someone else, and then I mean that's just how we get this thing out there. You know, there's no algorithm.
Exactly.
It's like a song radio. Keep playing it over and over till you like it. You know, you listen to a song and like that song sucks, but after the third or fourth day you listen to it, you're like, oh, okay. You know, unfortunately that's how human beings are, bro.
That's it.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I'm gonna change the pace a little bit, and I'm gonna throw a different question into the mix now for everybody. I want to know what you know in our own selves. We're on a journey of our own, right? We've gone from one state to another. We've gone from a belief system to a state of reality that we're living in, and I want to know what each of you so far have learned individually from engaging with the public. And I'm talking about the public, not people you know, not friends and family, not people that you've already got a dynamic with, regular people from the public that you've never met before. After having interactions with them, what have you learned from engaging with those people? So I'm right. What have you taken away from engaging, and what have you learned in respects to your personal growth as a person? Yeah, what have you taken away from that with your interactions, darling? That's over to you, CC.
Okay, you know, actually, I was going to interject right here too. Thanks for Roxanne, of course, for giving me a call out there. You know what? What have I noticed with meeting people? How powerful the indoctrination level is. You know, where it's at a point that we were all indoctrinated and we all woke up. You know, where is that light for other people? When are they gonna? When are they gonna actually realize that everything is a freaking lie? And that's what I noticed. I mean, how powerful it is. It's such a perfect indoctrination level to a point down to your childhood. And I didn't realize that, you know, I mean, you have such an influence, you know, over children when they're so young that you can pretty much tell them anything and they'll just think about it and they'll live that fake, false reality the rest of their lives, like we did, which is unbelievable. Whatever these satanic cult have done, it seems to work perfectly. And that's what I've noticed. where you just, there's some people that you just can't wake up. You know, I mean, there's just absolutely no way of waking them up. They are so clueless. They're sleeping. Go back to sleep. Go back to bed. Take your whatever pill, and that's it. You know, when you're you know, baseball player or football player or whatever the hell it may be, you know, wakes you up. Maybe that's what people need. They need that to wake them up. But you know, we've woken up, and we're now here, and we're all talking to each other. I love it.
I'm ready to wake up. I think it's that some people aren't ready.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. No, they're not. They might not be. I just find it amazing that don't get me started on this.
That line from the Matrix.
Yep. That's another story too.
I hear that. And Chris, what about you, my darling? Chris, can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry, it's that.
That's all right.
Sorry, what was the question? Repeat
no worries. In regards to your personal growth as an individual, what have you learned from interacting with the public about this subject?
About this, I've learned it's progressed and it's getting out there, and that I don't have to do as much work to get to talk to people. People talk to me, and that people are quite open generally. And it only takes a little glitch in the armor to get through to people. They'll come at you aggressively at first, but at the end of it, you can see the light bulb moment, and they're shaking your hands to going away. There's some out there that will never get this, no matter what happens and what comes out. But I think we're getting there. It's like NASA. If NASA only tells truth to everybody, you only have to find one lie, and then that's it. People will start looking, but you have to prove the lie to people. So you only have to find one, then people will start looking.
Well said. Yeah. Well said. Ruben, regarding your personal growth as an individual, what have you learned from interacting with the public? So far, as far as you've done so far, as much interactions as you've had.
I think it's true, as Cece said, like how deep the programming goes, how deep it goes for some people. Some just will not accept it, and I guess we all have our own journeys. Like I asked a friend who is, I wouldn't say closet flat earther. He knows it's flat, but to him, he's got other priorities in his life, and so he just sees it as he's into the truth movement and that. But he sees it, okay, cool. Next thing, like, do you know what I mean? He doesn't fight for it, let's say, the way we do. But I asked him, what's the difference between, let's say, you and this other guy who really isn't having it? And I think it just goes down to the level of indoctrination and the person themselves. So from what I've learned, just pick your person. You see, when you are activism, just assess your person. I think Richard said it as well, like assess the person, ask them a few questions, do you know what I mean? Gauge where they're coming from, and then each person is different. There's a different method of attack for each person, I think.
So horses for courses.
That's it. That's what my brother would say.
Just weigh them up. That's all you do.
That's what he would say. Horses for courses.
You sort of hit a spot where they think, or just ask them a question. Ask them to get you to ask you a question.
Yeah.
So they ask you a question. What do you want to know? And that's it. You just go from there. So you go from what they want.
Right.
Oh, that's another thing.
Flat Earth shirts all the time. That's where if I'm not in my uniform at work, I wear number because I want you to ask me that question. You know, I want to start a conversation with you. Yes. I want to ask something different.
Man, yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah.
Zanny, my darling, what with regards to your personal growth and the interactions that you've had with the general public, Zanny, what would you say in your experience, what you've learned from interacting with members of the public?
I think one of the biggest things that I've learned is that, you know, not everybody wants to wake up, you know, like not everybody wants to come to the same realization, and that it's maybe not necessarily my job to do it, to drag everybody out of the slumber, because people don't always appreciate it. You've got to go about things in a different way. That's like why I do like doing what I do, because it's it's anonymous and it's stealth. So I think, I was always shocked by the fact that people are willing to accept that the powers that be will lie to them on certain things, especially over money. But they can't extend the mind any further to accept that they lie about mostly everything. So that was a wake up call for me, and I just thought, I was so excited about all this. I just thought that everyone needs to know it. Everyone's got to get on board, but it needs people. That's not how the world works. You've got to take things at a natural pace, not just your own pace. Is what I'm trying to say.
It's the big joke like ever, man. It's a ridiculous. What it is now, there's loads of people in my world, even on my Facebook, they just don't believe it. I'm all my new friends of Facebook, flat earthers, but it's hard to convince people. But you would think it's easy it's like art or something like that. Some people see it and some people don't. It's like, but it's just more people have actually got to look at that's the situation there, and it'll be just a numbers game in the end. We'll just be a big numbers game, and that'll be it, and we'll win, and that's it. It's just a big numbers game now, and it's just a matter of time. So, they can't hide. As soon as these truths come out, all these people are realizing, it's things big, isn't it? Like, how do I know about it? How does Roxanne know about it? Richard there in America, all Ruben, all of us, it's all of us. It's crazy.
Do you agree with that, Zanny?
Zanny as well. All these people, the gentleman there. That's right. It's an amazing thing. I'd say it's taken off well. Go on, Richard.
Go on, Richard. What in your personal growth? You said you drive Uber. You have interactions with people in the cab. In the time that you've had interaction with the general public, what would you feel that you've learned so far?
That's a great question. And that's one of the reasons why I did Uber. I did Uber because I got a chance to meet people. It was a way to contribute. I felt like I want to do something. And so I have all these ideas. I got all this plan because I've dedicated my life. I chose. And, people are different. I want to get out the matrix. So I work my slave job. Okay. I do my 40 hours in one shot. So I used to work over 100 hours a week at multiple places because I do EMS. So I can work here, there, do my hours. I work 40 hours in a day and a half, in 2 days, you know what I mean? So, and I'm done with it. So I have a lot of time. So I'm saying, how am I going to use my time? So it typically, when I was asleep, I would just be working on music. I like beats. I like dope music. I watch my Ancient Aliens, you know what I mean? I don't mess with nobody. You know what I mean? Hopefully, they found water on Mars. And I'm stuck there. I'm deep in the matrix, man. So, so this changed me. When I get a chance to, I know the effectiveness of it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Because of my sales background, my comfortability in talking with people. I understand eye-to-eye contact is very important. You can tell a lot about a person by eye-to-eye contact. So it's what just amazes me is how we have a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work
to do. We got a lot of work to do, my friend.
Hard.
We can't hear you, Roxanne.
I think we lost you. Google did their power.
Don't worry. Sorry, my bad. Awesome answers, guys. I'm gonna switch it up, and I'm gonna give you both a couple of questions, merge them together. I want to ask you all what hurdles you feel the truth being pushed forward faces, and if you were to pick a hurdle, what would be your main hurdle that you would pick? And with regards to that, leading from that question regarding the hurdles, how do you feel things need to be placed for things to move forward? So with regards to a hurdle that you see the truth being moved forward facing, how do you see it moving forward from there? So I'm going to ask you, Richard, first and foremost, what's your initial hurdle that you see everybody facing pushing this truth forward? What would be your main hurdle?
Is the infighting and not letting we got bigger fish to fry. I think the distractions, there's many distractions. I don't know if they're caused because we're dealing with everybody's skeptic everything. Naturally, we should be when we come into this new information. It's a big deal. I tell people it's a big deal. You can't say, well, it's a big deal. The earth being flat and motionless, that's a big deal. I don't, I look at things differently, but to me, that's a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, and so I think that the hurdles that we have is the being consistent and remember why we're actually doing this. Because what I've learned.
Do you feel that's what needs to be done to move things forward? Would that be your main thing? Exactly. That moving forward?
Right, because you're right on point. My thing is, just like I teach my kids, a flat earth it's not just waking up. You can wake up to the truth about flat earth, but if you still got that global mentality, man, you got to change that. And if you haven't changed it, learn how to change it. So that means to work on yourself. So I figured out I'm actually teaching myself. I'm working on myself how to be a better person. Rich, don't do that anymore. That's that global mentality.
Yeah,
that's you know what I mean? So you
can't stop spinning.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, in their heads, they can't
really.
Inner working. I'm teaching my 6-year-old kid. Hey, flat earthers, right? We don't be mean to people. Did you know that? No, I didn't know that. Well, yeah, we don't be mean to people. Because we get an opportunity to teach our kids something different, just how to be a better person. So that's what I get out of it. I'm like, wow, okay, it changed me. It changed my life.
Yeah, Richard, very wise words there. I totally concur with what you said. And it's great when people like yourself speak so positively about people treating others with respect and encouragement. So well done, you.
Yeah, well said, John. Yeah, well said that. Yeah.
Great question. I mean, that's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And doing this, being, don't be afraid to talk. I'm glad. Like, Roxanne hit me up. Harry hit me up. Oh, okay, cool. Let's do this. Let's talk. Let's not be afraid to do this. Don't be
it's
afraid.
All about inclusion. I think it's all about inclusion and like initially trying to collaborate with one another with humility. It's okay to say no. It's not a crime. It's okay to say no. But I think where people have got it twisted is people think it's okay to say no and then get mean. And then get mean. Like you said with that globe mentality, that's a globe mentality, being mean. Yeah, there's no need to be mean. Collaborate. It's not a crime. Not everybody's gonna mash together very well. Some people might rub each other up the wrong way, and we're not all gonna be the best of friends. But I don't think anyone needs to be mean. And I think if you're moving to collaborate with people and you're making the first move and you're making it in a loving way, in a humiliative fashion, I think if you get eaten up like an alligator would and spat out, I think all that will do is create division. So I do feel that people that are throwing the first punch with those kind of things,
you get sort of station,
need to be shown a better way. And I think the only way that can be done is by leading by example. Yeah, is by setting a good example. And leading with that.
They hit it right on the point. Lead by example. Got people messaging me. Oh, did you know about this? I don't want to hear it, dude. I don't want to care. I don't even put energy into that. So you have to learn how to harness our own energy. This is for all of us. You know, it's an experience for all of us. It's a beautiful experience. I'm not gonna lie. I really get in touch with nature more.
It is great stuff. Like it's great stuff to. You say you thought you'd seen it all, but really you'd seen nothing. It's because it's incredible. It's like that. It's like that Christopher Walken thing. He goes, "You tell me everything, but you show me nothing." That's what this flat Earth
Zanny, what would you say?
It's great stuff. Like it's great stuff to. You say you thought you'd seen it all, but really you'd seen nothing.
What would you, sorry, Zanny, what would you say the biggest hurdle is, and how would we move forward from what your biggest hurdle would be? What would your biggest hurdle be as far as pushing the truth forward?
What I said really is attitudes to each other, and people having compassion for each other, and not just not looking down on other people, and just, you know, acceptance is the word I'm looking for. So each other's differences, you know, like we've all got something in common, and we all believe that we've been lied to about everything and the earth's flat and motionary, but we have to come to the realization that we also have to accept people's differences, you know, and not focus on the differences, focus on what we've got in common, and move forward that way.
Absolutely.
Well said, my darling. Absolutely well said.
I'm going to say good night because my husband just got home from work, so I'm going to make him some dinner. So it's lovely talking to everyone, and I'll catch you all later.
Big love to you, Zanny, darling. Thank you so much for joining us. Big hugs and kisses to you. Mwah.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night. It's nice meeting you.
So yeah, I'll chime on to you, Ruben. What would be your biggest hurdle as far as pushing the truth forward?
I think the infighting is a really good point. There has been a lot
Yeah.
of that, and if there's people looking in on the community and going, they can't even agree with themselves, you know, it is a bit embarrassing if people start doing versus videos or stuff like that, you know what I mean, slagging people off. That's not good. But other than that, I'd say censorship, I guess. I'm starting to have a lot of posts pop up, like, for example, like 3 years ago, you posted this, and when I click on it, you can't see it anymore. So that's a bit annoying. Yeah, I'd say infighting and censorship, I guess.
Yeah. What would be in your opinion, a good way to move forward from that?
Flat Earth unity.
Well said.
Infighting, that's the unity part. And for the censorship, some more activism. You can't stop the activism, you know.
That's right. That's right.
There's no algorithm, there's no code you can type in that it's going to block our views or nothing. No, we're out there. You know, I think I said it in a video, I don't know when. I think we had the megaphone, and I was like, it's your chance to meet a flat earther. Like, you've always heard of flat earthers. Well, here you go. You want to ask us something? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Most people that have heard of flat earth, it will be in a satirical means, like the BBC, you know, Lad Bible, Unilad, whatever. It's in a satirical way in that they try making fun of it. But when you're there posing them the questions, it's a different ball game. Yeah.
That's real.
Well said, darling. Well said. Chris UK, what would be your biggest hurdle that the truth faces?
Us. Together as a family, breaking up, obviously. And I think the scientific community talking about this. We know they're talking about it behind closed doors, and that they're coming to the conclusion that there's big problems with the world. We know it. And they're going to, eventually, it's going to come out from them. They're the ones, that's the hurdle. That's who people believe. When that comes out, and when people start talking about it openly on TV or wherever, that's the big area. This thing's moved a lot. This thing's moved a lot more than we think. You got to look at how we're attacked. If we're getting attacked a lot by censorship, the news, the media, NASA's saying a lot, finding things every day. They're fighting a battle of information. They're trying everything to back us off. So if they're attacking so harshly, we're doing a good job. We're getting that information out, and they know it. They're getting questioned. If they're battling against us this hard now, we're making a difference.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Good point.
Definitely.
Well said. Absolutely well said. Cece, what would be your opinion of what the biggest hurdle would be in the way of the truth right now?
Turn your TV off. Turn the media off. Turn everything off. And get your gut instinct. And just understand what's around you. That's the best way to put it, really.
What would be the best way to move forward in regards to getting the awareness out there?
Probably, can I just say?
Go ahead.
Probably just like Antarctica, the South Pole lie. The South Pole lie and the whole Antarctica thing really needs to be brought to attention. Brought to attention and looked at, and more people look at that bit. Along with curvature and things like that, it's got to get more minds thinking. But that little bit there is the key bit. That Antarctica bit, that changing that treaty and just ripping it up, just rip the whole thing up. Really, it's all a joke. It just don't exist. The South Pole it's non-existent. It's just all part of their fantasy. Just what they keep going. You know,
and I agree. I mean, this is the only thing that all of the entire world has agreed on. I mean, really, doesn't anybody see this? You know, yet we're fighting against each other. We're doing all this other nonsense. You know, we have a big conspiracy together. A war happening, World War WW3. No, it's not going to happen. We've all agreed on one thing. This name this exact treaty right here. We've all. That's it. I mean, it's ridiculous. How? I could talk about this for hours.
Yeah, it's obvious the deception. It's obvious. I mean, you know, it's obvious. I think that my thing. I'm always thinking. I guess I don't know about if it's Aquarius or whatever. I'm always thinking like 3 or 4 times ahead of time. Really good at chess because I like to think extra moves. But for this country, America, we got to rip up the Constitution, Declaration, and start from scratch because everything is lies, completely lies. Completely lies, and we got to start from scratch. We got to build up. So I mean, think about a conversation what it's going to be a year from now. So it's either 2 things: they're going to try to wipe us all out at once. Or people are going to wake up and we're going to have to force them, to start off massive reset. So the stock market may crash. Who cares?
That's it. Yeah, I know it's a crazy thing because what would happen if when they ever sort of find out? It's a crazy thought to think that sort of. What would happen is that all the institutions would just because what it is, before Flat Earth, I was looking into other things about ancient history and things like that, and certain skulls what are the wrong size. Like they go and like test them at these certain universities, and because they're testing it at that university gets in trouble and they don't get the funds for the next year. So there's a lot of things going on like that. So from hearing a lot of that, sort of like on certain like radio stations in America, like Inception Radio and things like that, and even Coast to Coast, I heard, this was before I was into Flat Earth, and I used to just hear how like the Smithsonians and like even in that world there was just Like they never got, and the doctors, they all the funding got pulled and everything. It was a joke. It was so it kind of spooks people into not looking into this stuff and sort of going along with this even bigger lie, this even joke, ridiculous thing of flat Earth, which I cannot believe. When I found out about it, I just remember sort of from that these institutions are a bit sort of not very nice if you don't toe the line. That's what I drew from listening to a lot of them shows with the people like this woman who had a certain skull of a certain size that went to these sort of universities in America and sort of thing and ended up having to put it in a sort of safety deposit box and things like that. It's just crazy. They just, as soon as they don't like something or there's some kind of a giant, whatever, it's just they sort of like hurt you through education, through sort of through your name. So if you're sort of a doctor of some sort, they sort of they guess they get you, but it's the tides will turn hopefully. Yeah,
the tides will turn.
This is a dramatic awakening. I'm actually writing a book called The Awakening. I don't know when it's going to be done, but I'm actually documenting on the stages and levels of where people are at.
What were you calling it, Richard?
What
are you calling the book, Richard?
Yeah, I'll definitely read that. I'll definitely have a look at that, mate.
Okay. What are you calling the book, Richard?
Oh, called Awakening. Look,
it's called Awakening. Right, okay. The Awakening.
Okay.
Awakening, yeah. The Awakening, yeah.
Right, because think about it. We need a massive globe burning. It should be outlawed. That should be number one. There will be no more. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, massive burning. Okay? And this needs to be recorded in history. We need to make sure that this deception never, ever happens again.
Yeah, oh, definitely, yeah.
Right.
Take proper liberties.
Yeah, I mean, it can't ever happen again. And that's the problem. We've got to get out of the sickness. We've got to get everybody out of the disease. And that's what it is, basically. I mean, it's just horrible. It's a sickness that everybody's just walking around mindlessly. And why? Why would they care? I mean, they've got too many things on their plate. They've got to worry about this. They've got to worry about a mortgage. They've got to worry about all this other nonsense. And they can't think about it. They don't see reality is completely fake. For Christ. Sorry.
They live.
Right, exactly. They live, right. And it's just amazing. So
like my headphones on.
We got a lot of work to do, man.
I like that one. You got a lot of work to do.
A lot of work. I was just thinking about that. I was like, yeah, we came far, but we still got a lot. Because we're going to get to a point where we're not waking people up because they're already woken up. We're just basically we're teaching them what's going on. And at the same time, we're trying to figure out what this place actually is. So there's a lot of stages to this, man. I tell people I'm still falling in the rabbit hole. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm at the bottom. I learn stuff every day. Like I said earlier in this, I said, don't be afraid to say I don't know, man. It's okay. When people say, well, then they're like, well, I don't know. But all I do know this though, that the earth doesn't curve downwards.
Yeah. That's what all we're doing is just giving them information and letting them decide. Yeah, that's all you can do. But it's brilliant to sort of learn it ourselves, though, don't you think? It's sort of this information is great to know for yourself, for your own sort of stability, for your own for your, you know what I mean, for your own mind.
Right. Think about it. We're not gonna be afraid of we're not afraid of asteroids, man.
They don't exist. No worries, guys.
Yeah. Whole shift.
We're not buying it, right? It's complete nonsense, right?
Climate control. Well, I mean, really, it's all bullshit. No, sorry, bullshit. It's complete nonsense. Don't worry, we're not spinning around in the universe, and we're nothing, and all this other nonsense. This is the universe right here. Welcome.
It makes you happy. It makes you happy.
It really does. It becomes a closure, with everything.
right? and remember certain lines. It's okay to be repetitive. I tell people real quick, I'm going to stop your world from spinning right now. I bet you. Right?
Yeah.
Pilot. It'd be impossible for pilots to land their plane on a runway that's moving 1,000 miles an hour.
Think about it. Think. This is what I tell people. Do you realize pilots could never land a plane if the thing is traveling at 1,000 miles per hour? I think there's just no way. I mean, you would have to be a geometry expert and calculus in order to even freaking get the plane on the target. Forget it. I mean, this is obvious.
Guys, I want to ask Cece, what has been your biggest response when you're trying to wake someone up? What is your most I won't say globetards, right? Because not all asleep people are. Some of them don't know they're globetards, until they get asked.
I was a globetrot. I believe we lived. I wanted to go to Mars. I wanted to go to the moon. I already signed up.
When you try and wake people up, when you try and wake people up to either NASA lies or what? Actually, can I ask everybody, just on a cheeky flex? This is just me being random. Can I ask everyone a quick pro quo? What's your initial icebreaker when you're talking? I know we open conversations with different people in different ways, but what's your favorite icebreaker when you start? And this is also bringing into what Authentic Intent was saying earlier on about trying to, people that want to get out there and want to start talking to people, but haven't quite plucked up the courage, or they haven't maybe worked out a selection of things that they can ice break with, which is for most people the biggest problem. Breaking the ice and starting the conversations. Like I think maybe some people mention NASA moon thing first. I think that might have been you, Richie, that said that earlier on. But Cece, what would be your favorite icebreaker? Truth conversation. Maybe I won't say flat earth. Maybe I'll say global deny conversation.
Well, first off, Roxanne, I'm very jealous I'm not in the background over there enjoying a conversation with everybody. Okay. That looks excellent.
Get a flight.
Crash out. He was on the end of the sofa.
We've got an in-depth conversation. I feel like a weather person, and over in the east we have this.
The weather.
Conversation going on there right about now. It's in depth. In fact, it's so in depth, right? We're talking about them. We haven't even clocked. We're talking about them. They're just zoomed into their conversation.
Yeah, what it is, because
but that's perfect, though. You see that's perfect, though. We're real channels. I mean, we've got a conversation here live. And I mean, from the UK, from the US, from across the coast, and there's another conversation right over here in the background going on, and everybody's enjoying it. So, now, to answer your question, I don't know what to tell you, because I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's got their Achilles heel. Where they have to understand that reality is a complete lie. So there's no way of really coming up with anything that anybody. I mean, it's almost you have to be a chameleon in a way. You've got to adapt to this person, who's in front of you, to try to explain him or she or whoever it may be. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to. I'm just saying you really do have to become that and explain to them on their level. Where they are. Because, I mean, I have doctors come up to me. I have lawyers come up to me. I had somebody the other day who was following me in my car, and said, oh, I know these PhDs. I met the astronaut, and why would he lie about landing on the moon? I mean, really, come on. I mean, why wouldn't they lie? When they know they can make all of this money by lying and doing nothing and putting out these CGI nonsense, and everybody says, oh, my, I can't wait to go to Mars. And that's the thing that really disappoints me is our children. Every child right now in school has this belief they think they can go into space, but it doesn't exist. Okay, there's nothing there, and they are just embedding the lie over and over and over again. It's a shame. It really is.
Stealing the mind, man. Stealing the mind, isn't it?
It does.
Yeah, it's just
It's mind blowing. Every day I'm mind blown. Every day I'm mind blown. Every day. Just mind blowing because it's like you become more aware every day.
We're all never going to get over it. We're never going to.
No, we can't. How long did it take you to get out of this? I mean, I spent almost 3 weeks, a month. I mean, probably even longer than that, getting out of this sickness and finally realizing, wow. I mean, it's not. I'm not going to say it's an explosion, but I mean, maybe it is. I mean, it's just such a reality check to a point that I don't even know where to begin. I mean, it's really powerful. And I don't think people are ready. Some people are they can't accept it. There's no way they're going to be able to get over that hump.
Do you know here in England, in GB, like to say the world is flat is the biggest joke ever, sort of like in the old days of when we didn't know anything. It's just amazing that they made that a sort of like joke of jokes. Do you know what I mean? To sort of cover their tracks. It kind of pulled the wool over so many eyes. And now a lot of eyes are opening. It's brilliant. It's just so many people's eyes are opening to all this, and it's just it's just everyone can just draw inspiration.
Hollywood is the biggest culprit. Okay, I'm sorry, Rich. I got to cut in real quick. I'm going to say a couple of things about Hollywood. Those scumbags. All right, everything is so. I mean, they don't even know how to sing. They have no talent. None of these people have any talent at all whatsoever. You, me, and everybody else can sing better than these people that are performers. These actors, they don't even have real parts. They're playing themselves, for Christ's sake. I mean, it's just all fake. It's unbelievable. But yet, it's just embedded with Hollywood, the news. I mean, just go down the line.
Go on, I've got to actually shoot off because Jason's going to come and sit down in this seat. But yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to CC and Richard and everyone else.
My brother, absolutely.
Ruben, yeah. So yeah, goodbye everyone. Take care.
Love it. Love it.
Cool. Well, man, he's sitting down.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Love that shirt.
Yeah, right, CC.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. We're kicking them out of the seat because Roxanne wants to ask me a couple of questions, and
I want to ask everybody in questions, including Jason. But this question's for everybody on the panel, including Jason. I'm going to start off with you, Jason.
No, if you ask everybody else first, I can come up with an answer.
All right, cool. All right, I'll give Jason a heads up. Ruben, I'll start with you.
All right.
Ruben, put you on the spot, and I'm going to ask you what has been the most difficult question that has challenged you about flat Earth or the globe. What's been the most difficult thing that you've had to get round when someone's asked you something?
I could have asked that. I can answer that one, Ruben. Can I jump in now? Go on, Ruben.
I think there was one at Portsmouth that boggled me. Like someone said that if you catch a plane from the North Pole, because I was picturing it on a ball Earth, they said if you catch a plane, if there's, was it 4 planes or 8 planes going in separate directions, where would they end up? But I kept picturing it on the ball because he kept showing me a ball, and I just kept picturing a ball. But on a flat Earth, obviously, it would just be separating out. But what on the spot, because I could just kept picturing a ball, that kind of confused me. But other than that, I guess when someone gets too scientific, do you know what I mean? When someone really knows their brainwashing and they I think that really, and then you try to bring them back to reality, observable, testable, repeatable reality, and they're like, no, but explain this, and they'll show you some equation, and you're like, yeah, no, mate. I think that would be it.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, man. How you know that? How you know that? Did you test that out yourself? Yeah, this is how I'm doing.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one.
How you know?
But that's what they always say, Richard. They always say that. I mean, how do you know that? How do you know that? Oh, we learned it in school. We learned it from our professors. And I'm just like, like we were in a city the other day. I mean, Jesus, mother of the word.
I went to the same public school as you did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a bunch of bullshit. And if you use,
a while ago,
right, if you use a critical mind as an adult and look at what you learned as a kid, now as an adult, you know it's completely bullshit. You're like, wow, complete bullshit.
Yeah. A while ago in London, we did some activism. It was one of our first amount of activism that we did, where we all clubbed together. And I think was it Leicester Square we did the first one. Leicester Square it was, yeah. So we did Leicester Square, and we had Scott, the plane ranger, and we were talking to this chap, and he was he works for satellite. He does all the programming and puts satellites in space and that. And he challenged me on, well, Redshift proves that Redshift that proves that we that there is planets out there, and they're all being subjected to the gravitational waves and things like this. We'll talk about stuff like this. We kind of like, how can we challenge something that, like Redshift? What the hell's Redshift? Is it a cheese or what? I mean, what I don't know what Redshift is. So people challenge us on stuff that I've never heard of. So you can't come back at them. And I've got two ways of dealing with it. Can I do the Harry John Smith way and say, and basically say, is that a belief? Is it a knowing? And we'll go down that route. Or I can or challenge it and just say, I don't know. I will go away and I'll research this. And this Redshift thing, I went away and I did a little bit of research on it, and it's utter nonsense. Yeah. And most in the scientific community, they're all arguing over this Redshift and all that, because it's based on a set of parameters to turn around and say like this particular part of the spectrum means that there's water, and this particular part of the spectrum means that there's some sort of minerals and rocks, and this one means there's gas and all that, and this Redshift and that. And it has no bearing on reality, because you can't prove none of this rubbish unless someone actually goes to the planet and checks it out. It's rubbish. It's utter rubbish. And but I did look into it a little bit, and so I think, going back to the question on that, Redshift is one of my most difficult questions. And I think, as doing it the Harry way is, can you prove it? Is it a belief or is it a knowing? Can you prove it?
I learned a lot from Harry. Harry, I learned a lot from him. That's all I'm saying. Learn from people, man. Learn from people. Larry's good. What I was saying earlier, I tell people, look, I don't know, or if I do know, or say, hey, or give them well, they say, well, what this place is? I say, it's a special place. And I get things like, I say maybe electromagnetism, because there's salt in the water, or just something or whatever they talk about, and get them and I try to control the conversation, man. What I learned about this, you got to control the conversation, man, when you're trying to wake people up, because if you don't, they will have you out there. You immediately watch them come. You start talking about the ground, like the curvature of the earth, and they go into space and this and this. No, stick to the ground first. I want you to understand this, because they're still thinking about a ball suspended in space. They got to get that space out of their minds, man. They got to get that outer space out of their minds. It doesn't exist. It's a fallacy. And once you get them to picture that, because you got to paint that picture. It's all about painting the picture, form of communication. So you paint that picture for them. So you got to get them, sometimes, because people, and what I realized, going back to the question Roxanne asked me earlier, was you don't know how much information they can take. So give it to them and then kind of watch how they handle it. Some people freeze up. Some people, you guys all know, but control that conversation, man. It just makes that works for me. I like to control the conversation, Yes. And if you're talking and you're making sense, you're not just talking. If you're making sense I had a guy tell me, I was in an Uber, tell me straight up, He's saying, you're scaring me because you're making too much sense.
About that, yeah.
There you go.
Right. I'm saying, he said, don't be scared, my brother. You know, you said you're a truck driver, you drive trucks all around the country. I said, hey, have you ever seen the curvature of the earth? He's like, yeah, people, you talk about curvature, and they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, if we live on a ball, there's got to be curvature. And I try to think of a basketball. You're looking at a basketball. Everywhere you go, there's curves.
Yeah.
You know, and then that's when the gears start running, and then stay on that topic for a little while. You know, and I kind of feed people out. Sometimes I can hit people in 10 minutes with everything, and you know, and they're like, okay, give me more, check this out. You know, check this out. You know.
Yeah,
you know,
bring them back to basics.
Bring them back to basics. Keep them back. Control the conversation. Get them back. Yeah, exactly. You talk about the ground, they want to go talk about space. Get them out of that. You know, get them out of that. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine for 3 hours last night. He was driving from Vegas to California, and he's a real good friend of mine. He's a New Yorker, you know, very successful. And he's like, yo, I've been waking him up slowly, and then I got him to see the earth doesn't curve downwards. And he's like, yo, man. And he started asking me questions. I was answering them and things like that. We got it, but I was controlling the conversation. And he's a good salesperson because we used to work together. So he knows about controlling the conversation. So I had to tell him, I said, look, man, you got to put that shit away, man. This is deep. You know, if I'm passionate about this, it's got to be something to it, man. It's got to be something to it, man. So he's like, yo, man, this is deep. This is deep. So, you know, and then you just work on them. And just because you can't close them there, they may go watch something about somebody else, about something else. They're going to hear it again, and they're going to start doing it. And the last thing they want us to do is start looking into this. You know, that's why, you know, all kinds of, we hit them from all kinds of directions. And that's what needs to be done. So do what you can. You know, if you're disabled or if you can't do nothing, go online, ask questions, go on NASA's website, tell them that they lies. Do something, contribute somehow, and make flyers up, talk to your family members. My mother was like, she thought I was out there. She thought we use a term called 7:30 in New York because that's the time the psychiatric patients get their medications in the morning. So we'd be like, oh, that guy's 7:30, So, and she was like, oh, you're 7. I was like, nah, I'm serious about this. And I like talking to Christians. Because Christians, they like that Bible. They love their Bible. And I tell them, I said, great, you believe in the Bible? Great. This is going to be easy for you.
Do it.
Right? Because guess what? Let's go to Genesis, right? Let's go to Genesis, right? And I want you to read with me. Read this. You're right. Go to verse 6. God divided the waters from the waters, right? Right.
Yeah.
You believe everything in the Bible, right? You believe the Bible, right? Well, then it says that right there.
Exactly. It's right there. I didn't even know until I actually looked at the scriptures. It's right there in front of your face. It's
right. And you see, look, they got us so deeply brainwashed. They say, oh, it's round, it's round. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, we know it's round, but it's flat. We know it's round, but it's flat. So stop saying it's round. Say it's a sphere, a ball like you presented to us. That's basically what it's ball. You know what I mean? So come on now, it's nonsense. And the deception is you just see it there, and you see that you got all what was hidden is going to be real. You start to see the pedophilia, Catholic Church. Come on, we all know. We all know. That's why people they have their own level of being awoke, but it's a journey, man. This was a journey, and I'm glad that I can share my journey with you guys. And with everyone in this chat, everybody that's listening in, anybody that sees my stuff, or I'm glad that we could do this journey together. I appreciate all of you. I love what everyone is doing. I have a soft spot for flat earthers. I do, because I know what it is, man. I know what it is.
Yeah.
You got to be kind, man. To be kind to one another, no matter what. We're gonna see. It ain't gonna be Christmas for everybody. Everybody's like. Agree on this and agree on this doesn't mean that we got to mad each other or hate each other, whatever, or talk bad about somebody. Come on, that's not benefiting. I tell people start worrying about when they stop talking about the flat earth. That's when you start worrying about it, when they stop talking about the flat earth. Come on, stay focused. We got to put blinders on. That's why they say put blinders on, or they put blinders on horses so that can keep them looking straight. And that's what we have to remember when we're doing this, because we're taking a lot of times out from our family. This is awakening. We don't know what we want to do. All we know is that we feel like we want to do something. We feel like we want to, because this, I want to know what else they hiding. Do we have to go somewhere before we leave this realm? My mind's going a million miles an hour all the time. When I first woke up, I probably slept in the first month. I probably slept like 30 hours in the whole month. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't turn it off. I had to learn how, I'm watching YouTube, every video I can watch, everything I'm learning about this. I feel like I know some of you guys, and I never met you before.
That's right. That's right. I wake up in the morning, and the first thing that I do is quickly check.
I wake up in the morning. I get my coffee. I turn on Flatout activism. I see Ruben with the camera on his head doing it. I'm like, my man doing it. And that motivates me. Going rock. He's out there like in the rain today. I'm like, wow, they doing it, Tom, Victoria. We got Dave. Man, shout out to you guys. I want to speak here. I'm like, that's a great idea. I want to build a speaker corner out here, get people to come. Let's go for it. Let's go at it. Let's talk. But the last thing they want us to talk is about shit like this. This is just privilege. This is knowledge that they don't want us to know. They don't want us to know.
Yeah.
They want to be the ultimate authority. You know what I mean? You want to be the ultimate authority. The gig is up. The gig is up. You can tell. When you walk, you can tell, man. You got all the maps are flat because we live on flat Earth, man. That's what I tell people. I start laughing. I'm like, wait, you know what I mean? Is it possible?
I absolutely love
it. Without curvature, you know what I mean? You got to get them to laugh, think, all kinds of stuff. Make them sound crazy. I like when they try to be mean to me or say something and I get them, I flip it around them and make them look so small. And I tell them something like this. I say, hey, if you knew what you believe, you wouldn't even fucking believe it. Right.
I like it.
I love that one.
Right.
No,
right.
I have to go. I'm going to bed. I'm shattered.
Right.
It's Chris off, is he?
Throw those punches, man. Boom.
Big day tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Chris, for joining us this evening. Big love and respect to you, darling.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, Chris.
Big love to you, darling. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, darling.
Chris.
And another one bites the dust.
Chris, I'm going to come to you. What? Cece. Yeah, Cece. I'm going to move on to, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I want to ask you, where do you see the truth being a year from now?
I thought about that a year ago. I thought we were going to be a lot further. I thought, but yet the media is doing what they regularly do. The sports are doing what they regularly do. Everything is the same exact way. We have no football players. We've got no baseball players. We've got nobody, no icons at all. We don't need the media. Forget about CNN. Forget about MSNBC. All right, forget about all that crap. All right, because they will never, ever say a word about this. We need the people that are figures that need to say something. And that's the big thing. I mean, that's we need, I know they're there. We need the actors, the actresses, these satanic scumbags that we've grown up with. And I cherished them when I grew up. Bill Murray, I don't want to get into the names. But I mean, all these guys, I now know sold their souls. All of them, all the way down the level. But we need one of these guys to come out and say, or women, or whatever it may be, and say, hey, look, the earth is flat. I believe this. This is a lie that we've been having to deal with. And meeting Rich, in Manhattan, as a salesperson, and I'm not a salesperson anymore, but I mean, there's something with salespeople, a good salesperson and a bad salesperson. Okay, these are the two differences. If you really believe in something truly, you can come across and tell people really that it'll make sense. A bad salesperson is just somebody who can't explain anything to anybody. But I mean, I could tell a good salesperson and a bad salesperson. you know, in just the truth. You know, I mean, I've never ever sold anything that I ever believed in my entire life. It was all bullshit. You know, I mean, it was all nonsense. You know, advertising and in this magazine and that magazine, whatever. I didn't. It wasn't in my heart.
On yourself, right? You're not selling a product. You're selling yourself.
You're selling yourself. That's the whole thing, you know. I mean, but yet I can understand now, because with Flat Earth, we believe in it. We know it's true. It's part of us now. You know, I mean, we all understand this, and we have to get the truth out. So we're almost like all salespeople. Whether you like it or not, you're a salesperson. I'm a salesperson. We're all salespeople trying to wake up freaking people to the truth.
Well said.
Yeah, agreed.
Well said. Where do you see it in a year time, Richard?
You said where I see it in 10 years? Is that what you said?
In a year, this time next
year. In a year, I think it goes further than where we are now, because we didn't push the envelope. You know, we got, you know, they're still laughing at it on the news, but you know what? You know, Chris, there's one thing that, you know, we don't even need none of them to come out, man. We know what time it is with them, man. We you know,
already learned people.
That's celebrity. My family. You know what I mean? I've been trying to wake them up, and I'm like, oh, okay, I know what time it is. This is privileged information, man. We're not supposed to know this shit, man. They don't want us to know. And this is what I believe truly what's going on. They know it's out. They're trying to slow the rate of speed, how fast people are waking up.
Yeah, exactly, by choking us and choking all of, you know, the small channels. You know, and that's, I say this all the time. Yeah, I mean, they're choking us. We don't know what our subs are. We have no idea. We don't know what our real views are. But that's what people are who are trained. They open up Flat Earth videos and they say, hey, look, let's go to this guy. He's got 100,000 subs. You know, or let's look at this guy who's got 2,000 subs. I mean,
right.
It's all mind control with Google.
Yeah. And, yeah. I mean, at the moment, currently, it says, what is it, 77 viewers and that. And I don't know whether that's 177 or 1,077 or even 7. You know,
right.
Like, we just don't know.
Yeah.
Don't believe it for a second.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. We don't know. Right. And that's how they get us. You're going to look something up. The first thing people go is to Google. They've been changing stuff. It's a modern day book burning. You know, people
Exactly. I can tell you, we are the most important channel on YouTube right now. So.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They've switched it all up within 12 months. If you go to actually Google research Flat Earth, you will get a mumbo jumbo.
You get the silliness, the stupidness.
Which is why points of destinations are a really useful tool to start sending people to, so that they don't get caught up in the crap and end up on the Flat Earth Society's page.
Well, I was just going to say that's where I ended up. When I first got involved in Flat Earth, I went straight to the Flat Earth Society page. And it's like a juggernaut. You ask a question in there, and you get hit with so many questions that, you know, like that I couldn't possibly answer as a newcomer to Flat Earth, and that, and it is to discredit you.
Absolutely, you're right. You're right. I was like, I looked at that, and then I realized, I think, I heard Eric Dubay say it, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And then I heard the part where Obama says, "Oh, we don't got time to, you know, to." Oh, shit. I see what's going on here. You know what I mean? Like,
basically, that was his signpost to lead everybody to the Flat Earth Society. There you go.
Yeah, no, it was. I was almost, you know, you first see that video, you know, I mean, really, you see the president of the United States, you know, at the time saying something, even Flat Earth, anything Flat Earth. I mean, there he is, you know, even though it was totally, completely out of content. And it was
half the population went to that site.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure that has like 500 million hits right now, you know, no doubt. No doubt. I missed it. I didn't know when it came out 8 years ago or 5 years ago, whenever it was, you know, but I mean, yeah, no, we're making an impact by doing this and getting out to people. We're making a big impact, and I feel really strongly about this. And
can I ask you guys another question?
Go.
Is that all right? Yeah. I'm going to ask you guys collectively, but I'm going to start with Jason.
I can just remember what I was going to ask. It's a good one, isn't it? No, what I was going to ask just now. Sorry, no. I've written a few things down, and
yeah, you got a brain.
That just happened.
You just had a brain fart.
It happens all the time. Don't worry.
Oh no! I remembered.
Oh, it's good.
I wanna talk about the pros, not well, pros and cons actually. But I wanted to start with you. Benefits are of meeting up with people and going out with a group of people and doing activism together.
All right. Well, it's a detriment to yourself if to be on your own at home, or so just to. I can only refer to my own experiences and my family, not although the support of anything and every the very notion and thought that her crazy husband, their crazy dad, is a flat earth believer. I could never have this conversation with anyone, and this isolation almost makes me. I felt as though that I could lose my family because it was a toss up between, like, or say, get rid of flat earth because I'm going to lose my family, or lose my sanity because I want to keep my family. And there was no middle area. There was no, I could never talk to my wife. I could never talk to my kids. My kids are all grown up and I couldn't talk to anyone. So it's this isolation. But you need to speak to like-minded people. It is so essential. If you don't speak to like-minded people, like one of the two will give. You're either going to lose your family or you're going to lose flat earth. You can't have both. You need to speak to like-minded people to keep balance. And that's what your family life is, your home life, your flat earth life. You need to find balance between it all to so that you don't rock to one side to the other. I needed this activism. I needed these like-minded people to speak to. 100%.
And exactly, and that remember, I'm sorry, Richard, let me just cut in real quick, a couple of minutes. Remember when before Flat Earth, before we got involved with this, all right, we used to go out with our friends. We had a day we used to go out with our buddies, okay, from our families, from our wives, from our kids. We had just a day to relax itself. And that's what it's become now. Those days are gone. We now have to get and organize with flat earthers and get our therapy because we need to talk to each other. We need to communicate to each other. We need that therapy because when we're at home and they're not on board yet. If they're not on board, that's fine. They will be. Trust me. Don't break up with your wife. Don't cancel any reservations at all right? It's not necessary. They will be on board eventually. So if you need this time, go out with your flat earthers. There's not many around here. I only know a couple in Westchester County. I met Rich, down in the city. He's right around the corner from me, not too far away. So you've got to. This is therapy for us, and that's very important. We do need that. Okay, sorry to cut in.
Absolutely, Chris, and don't be afraid, man. Call me up anytime, man. We can go hit it.
Absolutely, my friend, my brother. Don't worry about it. Absolutely.
I laying the banner on the ground. I got a couple of banners, and shout out to my man Dave. He makes the banners. He has a website, flatearth101.com, where you can he'll make a banner for you. So, and I'm going to get these banners made. And I got the idea from Roxanne. She held up the banner on her page. I was like,
perfect.
No, because Maryland does the same thing with banners. So, and I like how you laid it on the ground. Mm-hmm. I thought I have to say this. I have to give her credit.
You need to make sure
you Chris.
Do that, you need to get a banner to do that, or it will get ripped to shreds. Mm-hmm. Please hear me on this one. Make sure you get an actual. I don't really know what the difference is of the thicknesses.
Especially if it rains.
We walk all. They seem fine.
Yeah. but
Yeah.
just make sure you get a decent banner and,
Yeah.
and understand that wear and tear will happen. So
Yeah,
make
yeah,
sure
yeah.
you get the print quality
Yeah.
decent, or it will
Yeah.
wear off quite quickly. So just make sure. Obviously, it's ideal for it to be strung up, but
Yeah,
if you do
yeah,
have
yeah.
to put it on the ground, because putting it on the ground does limit you, especially if you have images.
Yeah, these guys are in the sun all the time. They don't
You're
know
not
what
in
rain
England,
is.
are you? I just realised you don't have to deal with the rubbish weather we deal with on a.
Yeah, hey, I saw those chemtrail video that you did, and they were hitting us yesterday like you wouldn't believe. Today we got a great day.
That's just clouds. We've got actual, like tornado rains every day.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we've had it for the last 3 months almost. Since the beginning of August, the end of July, all the way up to right now, where we are, on the date that we're at right now, it's been raining on and off. 3 or 4 days here, 3 or 4 days there. It's been horrible, and the chemtrails have just been. I mean, nobody even sees that. For crying out loud, how could you not see that in the freaking sky? I mean,
Yeah, it's disappointing. I mean, it's one of the most obvious things. I mean, and when you explain the difference between a contrail and a chemtrail, and they just can't click. There's nothing working. They just can't get it.
That's the test. That is the true test right there. I mean, and now you know who you're talking to. I mean, when you bring up that, it's almost like that's priority. All right, if this person is not into wearing, observing the things in the sky of all. I mean, you've got streaks. I mean, how could you not miss that? I was awake to this 15 years ago, for Christ's sake. Before I got into flat Earth, I was awake to this. I didn't even realize what I was looking at, and people just don't see it. I mean, they think, oh yeah, no, don't worry, it's just a contrail. It's gonna go away in 20 minutes. My ass, it stays up there all freaking day, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Awesome answer. Awesome answer. Rich, what about you?
Well,
Yes. Again.
I was saying, like how you guys, I think it was yesterday you guys did, you hit that carnival up, and and like you just set it up, spread it out, and
right there by the bar, right there by the Duppy Rum Bar.
You got me thinking. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, that's nice.
We went to a paid event, believe it or not. We had risk done. We paid to get into a closed paid event, and we set up shop in there, and we did not get moved.
Wow.
We didn't get moved.
Believe it.
Excellent.
No.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like, so that gave me an idea. Like, we could do like a flash thing, like send out a group text, and then everybody meet in one place in an hour, and we just flat smack people for like 30 minutes or an hour, roll it up, go somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, you can have fun. You got to make this fun.
That's exactly where I was coming from with the London one that I did when I met up with Ruben and Ruben's brother. It was like a pop-up notification in major points in London. We were only at each location for about an hour and a half. Harry did exactly what you just said. Text Ruben, and he said to Ruben, listen, we're going to be at such and such in about an hour. We're going to be there in about an hour. And Ruben was busy, as we all are. We're not sitting around twiddling our thumbs, waiting for someone to call us to go, do you want to go and do something? We're all pretty busy people. So he interlinked us at Covent Garden. And I met Ruben and his brother. And within 30 seconds of meeting them, we instantaneously rolled out the banner in front of a designer clothes shop and had the manager of the clothes shop out of the clothes shop within 90 seconds. You know what the manager of the designer clothes shop was happy to tell us? That he'd seen space debris with his eyeball. When he realized that that actually wasn't it in anybody's reality, least of all his own, he then decided to tell us he'd actually seen the space debris light. And then when he realized that wasn't going to wash, he said, I've actually seen it through a telescope. You know what a telescope is, don't you? So, and that was literally 15, 20 minutes, and then moved on to another location and moved on to another location. And we tried to make it fun. Initially, I went into London with Harry and went to Piccadilly Circus. That was the first location. And it was only me. And obviously, I cannot stretch my arms out to hold that mammoth banner. So we asked a stranger, look, NASA lies. they've been lying to you. Do you want to hold up this banner? And you can actually pick out members of the public to hold a banner up with you. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, there you go.
We met up with an Asian guy, never met him before, asked him if he agreed with some of the things that were on the banner and would he be up for holding it. The guys at Nelson's COLIN were from Spain. They were here on holiday. They agreed with the things that were on the banner. They held up the banner with me. So just so that you can go out into a city, you can have conversations with people, show them what you're talking about, and you never know. Even outside Parliament, that lady from Israel, she was happy to go like that to Parliament with us. So,
wow. You never
Coming
know.
soon to Times Square. Rich and I. So we'll be doing it again.
You try stuff, try different stuff. I mean, like, you could go anywhere. Just, I guess that's what they call. Hey, go anywhere.
I think the more diverse you can be, the better. Have fun with it. Try and play around with it, because that's the only way we're going to grow and develop and push things forward, by pushing the envelope and sometimes flipping the script altogether, flipping the script on what you think can be done. We proved beyond reasonable doubt that you can go into a carnival environment, despite what people are telling you about, that's not going to work. People are not going to want to interact with you like that. Don't listen to the naysayers, okay? Because some of the naysayers that are out there are not doing these things themselves, okay? But they want to formulate opinions on things. So before we start listening to people that are sitting on pedestals pontificating to people, let's start actually getting off our backsides and trying some of these things out, because we're happy to say we went to a carnival. People were absolutely on rum. They were not on ciders. They were on double shots of rum. We were in there for a couple of hours. No one wanted to have an argument. No one called us any silly names. People wanted to stop. People wanted to talk. And, sorry, but there's still bands in the background. People wanted to talk. So go to music events, go to big events, like have a bit of confidence, link up with some people so you're not vulnerable and on your own. If you can get some of your friends or people that you've linked up with, have the confidence to step outside your comfort zone, go and meet up with some people. There's nothing shady about doing that. If you meet up with people in a public place, there's nothing wrong with it. So I think that's an excellent way to wrap up an awesome evening. I literally want to thank you from my heart for taking the time out and being with us this evening and having this hangout. I think this also pushing. Yeah, this is also pushing, where we're trying to go with things. And I think that encapsulates what John Smith Global is trying to do with this UK tour. He's been out on the roads for over a year, putting his hand in his pocket, getting out there onto the roads, pushing the truth out to the masses. I think the reason a lot of people in the country know about this subject is because of the mileage and the time and the effort that all of these people have put into pushing the truth out there. Okay, I don't think it's an accident that the amount of people that know about this is going up. The amount of times I've heard someone tell me, I know about this because my friends know about this, or I know a friend of a friend knows about this, so tell me more. This is happening. This can't be stopped, like Ruben said. The internet, that can get censored. You can't censor the streets, You cannot do it, Right. John Smith Global is unrelenting in his effort, Right. He's unrelenting, He's pushing it forward. He's pushing it harder and more passionate than ever before, right? So if you're going to do anything, anyone that's watching this on a playback, any of you guys on the panel, if you're going to do anything, please support the forefront of activism and get behind that man, John Smith Global, No one's in it for profit.
I made John Smith an editor for Flat Earth News and Reports because I want him to say, yo, dude, I believe you. I stand behind you. I want you to put it all on that page.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, he's working. He's out there. He's doing
right.
What we all want to do.
Promote it. Let me know. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. Right. I'll promote it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. And the whole thing's going to be completely transparent. Absolutely transparent. Everyone's going to see everything that everything's spent on. If there's any suggestions or questions that anybody has, they can get in contact.
Yeah, we can even put a webcam in the bathroom. Everything's transparent.
Absolutely. I think that maybe one time a week, we could do this or whenever.
Yes, love to.
Yeah,
we'd love to make things like this it's a regular thing. I think it's incredibly conducive and it's very, very inclusive of everybody.
Across the pond, connecting.
Across the pond and connecting. Me and Cece have said this from the get-go from when we've been talking. You know, I think it's not about us and them. It's about all of us together, us guys together. It doesn't matter what side of the water you're from. We're all on the same flat plane, whether anyone likes it or not.
Like I say, it's just like,
exactly. That's how important it is.
It's just like connecting on a macro level rather than a micro level. And we've got to push both out and keep growing and getting bigger. And we can only do that by connecting with people across the pond. And
Yes. Exactly. That's why I find it so important. I mean, we're all regular people. We all have jobs. We all have families. And we are doing this. Okay? Yeah. It's not like we're unemployed and doing nothing and sitting there. We're taking a short period of time out of our lives, you know, to explain to people reality is not real from what you understand. I mean, we're putting our lives, we're putting our dignity up online here. You know, and that's why I'm tired of these trolls. They don't seem to. I mean, I know they're paid, all right, whatever. But I mean, I'm just saying, you know, we're putting our dignity online, and we're doing what we have to do in front of everybody, and people understand how much of that takes out of somebody to do. And I mean, we know it's important. We know that. We know the truth, and everybody else has to know the freaking truth. Stop this screwing around. This nonsense of all the crap that we grew up with. It's a shame. It really is. But we'll get to it. We'll wake up a lot.
Absolutely.
Right, Tom.
Brilliant. I think that's an awesome way to end the hangout. And I think if we can do this again, that would be brilliant. I think it's super helpful for everybody to hear what's going on in the streets with everyone and the human interactions that they're having with one another. And I just want to thank you all again for being with us here tonight, and everybody in the chat room for taking the time out to be with us and listen and hear what we're saying and interacting with the chat room. I know that a lot of them have been interacting with the things that we've been talking about this evening. So I really want to thank everyone for that. I want to thank everyone that's been with us today while we've been out on the road. I know the feed wasn't as long as possible, but Harry got some footage, so you'll be seeing something more featured on John Smith Globe Live's channel. And as I said before, he's going to be doing this UK tour. In the description of this video are all the links that you need to go and have a look at the Patreon and the GoFundMe accounts, and you can get a much more detailed description of exactly what's going on. Again, I just want to thank you all for being here. I know it's pretty late over here now. It's like 1:30 in the morning. I know for you Americans, it's not that late. It's not that.
Also, I want to tell you in front of everybody, Roxanne, you did an awesome job in that part you did for The Earth Doesn't Curve Downwards. You have a hidden talent. Do storybooks, speak. You got a talent. Again, a lot of people out here in the U.S. really, you know, like what you did. So I think that was great. I think that was really great.
Very much. I really appreciate that, Richard. And I also appreciate you even reaching out and asking me to help you out and join in with everybody else that you were using on the video. So I really want to just thank you as well. And
it's
also
all guys. It's all guys. And I'm like, I need women. I need some women. You know, we got
exactly. Don't worry. We'll find them. They're around. All right. They've contacted.
Richard, you need more women. Okay, I've got noted.
And while I've got him sitting here with me, I just want to let everybody know this watching, and for you guys as well, not that I haven't already told you guys, but everything that I read out on your video was put together by this man sitting beside me right here, Jason.
Oh, are you serious? Oh, awesome. Great job.
Excellent.
Great job. Great job. I was listening because I've probably watched it 200 times. I got people that tell me, it was like, yo, it's really putting people like, I got Frank, he's a doctor, he's a pilot too, and I've been working on him for a long time.
Nice. Excellent. There you go.
Yo, he's like, yo, you know, yo. So I tried to put it together. I wanted to get one message and reach all kinds of people. You know, I wanted to reach all kinds of people. So I didn't care. Being polite, we're past being polite. Okay?
No, we're done with that now at this point. Okay, let's hit the next page.
Exactly. So, you know, if you didn't get a chance, Roxanne has it on her channel.
Right, let me say a quick goodbye to you both. Look, CC, I've watched many of your videos now. I feel like I kind of know you, by now. I do wish sometimes you get a show for driven car, though. You know, like you worry me sometimes.
Don't worry about it. I'm usually on country roads. And
all right, okay. Richard, I've kind of I'm very new to you. It was John Thor that put he shared a video of you in the taxi. That's my first video I've seen of you. I'm very new to watching you. I actually loved it. I did, you know, like, and I'll have to backtrack and see what else you've got there. You know, I'm sure you've got a lot of goodies there for me to watch.
Well, I don't really have too many of my videos.
Okay.
Me talking, but I bought a microphone a year ago because I'm like, okay, well, I'm ready. But I just never, like, no one never, you know, I never found anyone that, well, you know, except for D Marble, you know what I mean? Never really, really found any, you know, one to click with online, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're doing behind the scenes stuff, you know what I mean? Like, so, you know, so that was actually cool. I'm like, I'm ready. What up? I'm ready.
Keep it up, because you've got a bit of a voice for this, and I really did. I loved you in that taxi, and like listening to you tonight. I thoroughly enjoyed myself tonight listening to you. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Keep it up. And I still am a fan of Dean Marble and that. You know, like yeah. So I get that.
Right, Flat Earth Offensive is coming out, and we were all part of that. Flat Earth Offensive, what we're doing. You know, we staying on. We're not playing defense. Defense is over with. It's like exactly.
It's offense.
Weekend. Yes, exactly. And know your shit. Know your shit. Learn how to defend. You know what you believe. You know, or what you know to be true. Learn how to defend. Because if you know you're gonna go out there, learn this. Learn how to get people to think. You know, start from there. So it's a lot.
Awesome.
Massive love to you, Ruben. Are you there, darling? You're on mute, darling. But I'm not sure if you can hear us.
He's gone to bed.
He's gone to bed. Yeah, I'm here. I just turn the camera off just in case it messes up again.
Sweetheart. Ruben, babes, thank you so much for being here with us. You're an absolute trooper. Ruben's on holiday at the moment, guys, and he's taking the time out on his holiday to be here with us. He's not really dropped. I was going to say dropped.
I don't know. Bad habits. And
but you haven't, Ruben. Big respect to you, babe.
I just wanted you, if you want, you can see them. You can see the guys in the background. They'll give you a quick goodbye.
Good night, guys. I wish I was there talking to you.
Nice talking to you, Chris.
Oh, absolutely.
Take care, everyone.
All right.
Richard and Ruben, thanks very much for being there.
Ruben,
take care, guys.
For tuning in. Massive love, Ruben. Big kisses, big love and respect to you, CC.
Of course, always.
Massive love. Thank you so much to the chat room for taking the time out and tuning in. Please check the description for everyone's channels and the description links for Patreon and GoFundMe for John Smith Globalize UK as well. Massive love to you all. Big love and respect. Take care. Bye.
Ciao.